And hello, welcome to another episode of Roll for Story, the Claude Coast arc. Last session, you guys had delved into this dungeon and set up a little tiny hut to recover your wounds from the strange illusionary eye outside. And you pushed in further down a tunnel, and you could see there was torchlight. And when you came around the corner, there was a mirror depicting this beautiful woman bedecked in jewelry and fine silks. She introduced herself as the Mistress of the Sands and the actual um, the leader here in this strange lair. She explained that she wasn't doing anything wrong necessarily, and that what she was doing potentially better, like for the betterment of the dry oasis, seemingly taking over the minds of no no good doers, evil doers, even mentioning the brigands, like a band of rogues that she basically took control of and made sure that they were put to better use. But you still protested the fact that she was kidnapping people and mind washing them isn't helping, it's just brainwashing them and putting them against their own will. It's just as bad almost. But then you changed your tune and began to try and convince her that there was perhaps another way. And slowly but surely, you sort of began to kind of peel back the layers and realize she's also been through plenty of hardships as well. And you sort of shared your own stories, your own um, backgrounds of either struggles or exile, abandonment, and abuse, whatever it may be. And then he began to sort of warm to you guys slightly, almost considering your words. And I think even Irene, you were saying that you kind of felt sorry for her, that she's got all these people that she's mind controlled that adore her and follow her, but it's not a true audience. It's not what she really, really, truly wants. But she mentioned that the world saw her as a monster and that she couldn't return to that world lest lest she either be hunted down or effectively banished from this place. And though you're not entirely sure why, you believe it's something to do with the Sultan. In fact, she did mention him particularly and said that she was trying to steal away her gift. And you explained that that was potentially the same thing that was happening right now. And I believe Andy stepped forward and said and asked about why he would want someone like her. And she kind of looked towards you, and now realizing there was a solid connection between the two of you, she sort of questioned whether you were some sort of reincarnated muse. And before that could really be delved into further, there was a reddish hue that kind of loomed over the back of the mirror, and you saw a dark clawed hand stretch out and place it on her shoulder. This figure called you liars, deceivers, and that you're only here to hunt her down and kill her. And at this point, she sort of also became a flame in the eyes, and she mouthed something as the image of her disappeared, and you could suddenly hear the footsteps or the clanging of chains coming down the hallways towards you. You were pretty much ambushed from every side, but you managed to block off troglodytes with insect plagues. You managed to uh, watery sphere a large scorpion centaur-like creature, and meanwhile you managed to effectively stun and beat down the other two guards that were coming in from the other side. Poisonous gas kind of flooded into the room as well. You either had to duck out of or in or spend your turn reeling and retching from it. After you dealt with those assailants, you did have one left conscious who was the jackalware, and as you kind of questioned them, they explained that this place was not to be not everything in here is to be trusted. Never assume what you see is real effectively. And then they said that Mistress of the Sands is deeper below. He recalls the memories of the tune kind of charming him, and he also recalls a treasure room filled to the brim, but his memories are also very hazy and vague, so he doesn't know exactly what's up ahead. But he does remember that there was a prison, and he led you to that and explained that the Tin Clali, sorry, the yeah, Tlin Cali has the keys for it. He's like the jailer, effectively. And we left off with you guys kind of just opening up the prison and going around the corner to see there was another locked door. There was a pressure plate in front of it, and there's these magical notes that seem to be glowing like symbols on the walls. And when you placed or put your hand near one, it made that sound. It made the sound of the tune or the note in different pitches, and you saw like the actual image kind of come out and pop, like as if it was an illusion. But that's it. That's where you guys were left off. So let's see. Oh yeah, Golu was his name as well. And I guess he's followed you around the corner, Llewellyn, to where the prisoners have been held.
Yeah. So I do know that of these two people up here, one of them got killed unintentionally, and the other one was only knocked unconscious. Which one was it, do you think?
Sorry, what? They got killed? What? Who
Uh,
killed someone?
these two here, up here, one of them got killed and one of them was only knocked unconscious because we think they're both.
Killed.
What?
Who killed them? Who
None,
killed them?
none of them killed?
How would
It
you?
was
Did you kill? Did
non-lethal.
you like coup de grace them?
No, the only thing which might have come close to my lightning, but that didn't kill any of them,
No, I didn't
which,
knock them unconscious.
no, it didn't
Oh,
quite drop
cool.
them to zero, so.
So
So,
unless you did that, then no, they're
ah,
not dead.
okay, my bad. Golu, is that your name?
Uh, yes,
Would you want to go grab the other two and bring them in here?
I can. Yes, sure.
Okay, good, good. Thank you. I remember you saying there was a child in this one, so I'll start with the child.
Yeah,
Let
there's a smaller cage in the corner, which you easily find the key to unlock,
we
and they sheepishly poke their head out of the cage and see you, and they they kind of like, are
hey,
you rescuing us?
we are, yes. You're the is it the carpenter's boy?
No,
Not
I'm the baker's son.
baker's son. That's what it was.
Are
Yeah,
you
look,
friends of my father?
friends is a loose term, but he is looking for you, or was.
We're
Might
also
think,
friends of your friends.
Yeah, friends of your friends. If you
yeah,
mention the names of them, then
yeah. Um, and I will start letting the other ones out as well. It's, I believe it's getting a bit dark outside, so you guys are welcome to stick around till morning if that's safer for you, and then you can head on out. We're gonna fortify this room.
I don't want to have to stay here any longer than what's needed. But it's not
You
safe to. traverse the desert alone either.
Well, there'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There'll be like 6 of yous. But you are welcome to stick around with us. Might not be safe because we're going to be heading further in.
I think we'll wait for when you decide to leave.
Oh, that's fine. If you just watch out for any of the walls excreting gas. It's pretty nasty. Not deadly,
Yeah.
just not nice.
Yeah, think I've smelt that stuff before. Ugh.
Cool.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'll start letting them out one by
Okay.
one. And yeah, I'll be putting these 2 in the cages
All right.
because
Yeah, sure. You can lock those up if you want. If you're fearful of them waking up and turning against you.
Because we haven't
Yeah.
broken the curse on them, so makes sense.
yeah.
Okay, sure.
So, Andy, any ideas on this? I'm guessing we need to do something in order to open the door.
Well,
And-
she hasn't looked at the other bit yet.
Yeah.
So, don't know what I'm doing. She's just kind of like, I'm working on it, and she goes down to look at this thing here.
Okay, so let's have a look. Yeah, there's very clearly some sort of like pressure plate in front of the door, and the door seems to be sealed shut like the one before it, like the prison room, but there's no obvious keyholes or even handles for opening this thing.
If she were to, she's going to take out the short sword and using kind of holding onto the scabbard part of it and using the handle, pushing down on the pressure plate. What happens?
Okay. Well, I'll allow you to, if you move your token onto the pressure plate, that'll effectively, you'll see it come up. Notes suddenly start to appear above you,
You do? Nope.
and they play that tune as well.
It looked like it was this one. And
Yeah, we saw nothing. I mean, we haven't got graphics and things turned on here because it just slows the computer right down.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
makes sense.
If they come off and on it again, that will re-trigger it, right?
It will, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
no,
it's...
but we haven't
No,
got
but
the
it's
animations.
this one,
I can't help you then. This won't work
This one.
without the animations.
this one, I think.
Okay.
And again? Oh, it's changed.
It's different.
Every time Andy changes, steps on the pressure plate or releases the sword, rather, you see the pattern change and the colors as well.
Right. We got this. Although it probably shouldn't be me because I'm not actually there, but
From where Andy is actually standing here, can she actually see this happening?
Yes,
Of course, she's kind
they
of around the
appear.
corner. So
The
technically, all
symbols
of this
appear
kind of
above the
area is
pressure
not in her
plate.
vision.
No, the symbols appear above the pressure plate, like
Okay.
almost as if they, I'll say from the door as well. They just sort of light up on the door momentarily, and then they dissipate.
Okay. So I'm gonna need one of your guys' help with this if that's the
Yeah.
case. Can you
Okay.
remember the last pattern?
No, but I can probably
No,
get the
okay.
next one if you do it.
Okay. So if I do that.
So that, that, that,
Okay. Thank you.
from what I saw.
So it's the orange one, or
Yeah, the orange one.
okay. So she goes running back around. She's like, "Excuse Alina." Right. So, then she'll basically start moving people around. So she'll get Keshan to stand in front of the first one, Carius to stand in front of the second one, Irina in front of the third one. She'll stand in front of the fourth one, and she'll just go Kashan, then Carius, then Irina, then me.
Right. So we'll basically position ourselves there. I don't think the map quite allows those positions, but yeah, and then so are we just pressing the notes, I guess?
Yeah.
Okay. Then it would be the one just above you,
Move
Andy.
away from.
So that one.
You can reach that one if you use the arrow keys at the same time.
But then it's
Yeah.
this one.
Irina can't go through the walls.
And then it'd be
No.
I knew that would happen. I just knew it. I
yeah.
know what you're trying to do though, but yeah, when you want to move diagonally, you can use both arrow keys at the same time, and
Yeah.
it
Okay.
does move diagonally. But anyway, okay, I guess that you was trying to hit this one on the fourth one,
Yeah.
which sounds off and makes this kind of haunting tune as it's replayed. But everyone would definitely hear in the very far end of the chamber. You definitely hear the door sort of clunk.
Okay, run! Run through the door!
Carius will fly through the door using his glaive and just be like, whee. Yeah.
The door opens up
Ew.
as you fly through, no problem, Carrie.
I see
And
mystical spinning.
yeah, as you come straight into this circular room, you see that there's a set of stairs descending down, and there is a strange illusion in front of you. A whirling triangular pattern of sands spins with an eye in the center, and as it focuses in on you, Carius, it suddenly blinks, and as it blinks, you see the door behind you suddenly slam shut.
Oh no.
Well. Okay.
Andy kind of looks between Irina and Kashan, just like, oh dear.
You might need to play it again if you can hear me, and that might open it again. But Karis is gonna hide behind this pillar, so he's not in the thing's direct eye line.
Okay, yeah, roll a stealth check real quick.
11.
11. Okay, understood. All right.
So there appears to be some sort of eye in here that blinked at me, and then the door closed.
Now, is it an actual eye that's actually there this time?
No, it's like an eye made of swirling sand. I'm guessing.
I'm sorry, like, maybe the water was drugged.
I mean, maybe it was cactus juice.
Actually,
I don't know. You guys are seeing some weird shit today. I don't know.
At this point, because they could, Taklo will come around, communicating with Carius, and will use their limited telepathy to imbue the image of the eye into Irina's mind, so they know what it looks like.
You can do that.
Yes.
You just suddenly get the eye of Sauron in it.
Yeah.
I see
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's a green eye that's sort of vibrating, and there's like two triangles of circling round it. They're also green, and apparently it's made of sand. Green sand.
Totally. Yeah, we'll go with that. So, yeah, not that it helps you much because you have no idea what it means or what it is. But nonetheless, the door has seemingly locked shut once again. And as you come around to the pressure plate again, it has reset.
Okay, so it's got a timer on it then. Alright, let's do it again then. Llewellyn!
Okay. Llewellyn, you do hear them calling for you.
Yes.
Secret door closes after a timer. Could do with everyone here ready and waiting for it.
Does sound really interesting. we have 2 captives in here, and I've freed the non-cursed ones. So we've got a bit of a troop with us right now.
They can wait here.
Okay.
They're innocent people. Do we really want to take them into unknown danger?
No.
Right, so if
I was
they're
all-
not wandering around, the bad guys still think they're locked up. Don't come looking for them, they're safe.
Tatclo says on behalf of Carius, perhaps give them the key so they can lock the door behind themselves.
Good idea.
There's no door to it, though.
No, there was. There's a big stone door that we opened.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure. They can. Yes.
That way, you know.
What with the keys?
I guess.
You can
I
have...
guess if it's a keychain, I pull off the key for the door and chuck it to Golu. I guess we trust Golu the most.
Yeah, he's been freed of the curse. Well, one of his curses.
One of his kisses, yeah.
I'll deal with the were-jackal thing later when I have spell slots.
Yeah, same. And I'll keep the keys for the actual cells themselves. Cages.
Cells themselves.
Cells themselves.
Yes. Okay.
So, wait, where's Carius?
Through the door.
Tatclo goes, take a guess.
Okay, so
Look,
we
who
just
split the party?
Not
What?
intentionally.
okay. So why doesn't he just come back through the door?
Because it's locked.
Carius, what have you done now?
There's a giant sandy eye that blinked at me and the door closed. So I'm not sure if it's a timer or if maybe this is some sort of sensor that's like no retreat sort of thing.
So if we do this and it blinks immediately and the door locks itself again, we know it's a sensor.
Yeah.
I mean,
Cool.
you can turn yourself invisible, right? Because I can too. I don't know about Eileen.
Me,
No, I cannot.
I can. I mean,
You
not
sounded
till-
like super speedy, so probably not, you won't see him speeding anyway.
Well, I can stand like at 1, depending on obviously which ones light up this time. Mage hand to reach 30 feet. As long as I'm fairly near the door, I can run,
Yeah?
I guess.
I mean, otherwise you're doing this all on your own.
That's not going to be possible. Wait. No.
Well, let's find out anyway. So what? This little thing with a sword, and I guess I just grab it, just like
There is a smarter way of doing this.
I'm like,
Is there?
what?
Okay, smarty pants, how?
We have 3 other people in the other room. They press the buttons, we wait by the door, run.
Ta-da!
It's like, so what? So what does this do again? Oh, ding, doom. Oh, that.
I only saw the first and the last one, and I know one of them was green, but then I couldn't see the shape.
So that's what that does.
Fun, right?
Combination.
Every time you step on it, it does something different.
It's different. Oh, that's a smart combination, look.
Try it.
Right. Orange swirl, green little bee, hashtag purple, hashtag green.
Jamie, do you know any music terms?
I can't remember what this
Hashtag
one's
green,
called.
Hashtag purple.
Hashtag purple, hashtag green.
I can't remember what this sort of code symbol is.
I mean, they do look like hashtags.
What was the other one? Was it green bee?
Yeah, green bee was the
It was
second
green
one.
bee, so it was the second one.
That's the one that's like that's either a
it's,
flat symbol, right?
No, it's not flat, it's curved.
It could be a flat.
It means that the note should be played flat, right?
Yeah, either
That's
that,
good.
or sometimes it can also mean depending on. I think sometimes you don't get it that way. No, ignore me.
What
So I
does this one mean? I'm just curious. Like the curve with the 2 dots.
That's just the start of the sequence, right?
That's bass clef.
I had a feeling it was like the treble clef, but
I
Bong.
think Evelyn's enjoying this now.
yeah,
Okay,
it's-
let's stop right there. Uh, da, 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 da. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Nice. It's at this point, Karis,
yep.
you suddenly hear marching footsteps coming down the
Ah,
stairs.
well, this is going to be fun.
Yep.
Tatclay's
I'd
just
like
like,
everyone-
company.
Yep. I'd like everyone to roll initiative.
No.
Great. I'd also, for the 4th session in a row, like to remind everyone, I have nothing.
Yes, I know.
4 sessions.
At least I out initiative them.
Yes, you do. Okay. So Kashan's up first, and he's just watching you guys do the notes, but he's ready to spring through that door the moment it's opening.
Yep.
Karis, you see 2 guards, very akin to the Claude Coast, the Dry Oasis's garb and uniform. And there is another figure behind them, and he is shouting, "Get them while they're separated." And it is your turn.
The third one, because I obviously can't see them on the map. How close are they within range of the other 2?
I would say you can just see the feet of them, so you can tell they're probably either 5 or 10 feet behind them down the stairs. You can hear their voice. You just see like their boot land onto the stairs.
Shatter.
Okay, nice. And let's see, DC 17. They rolled it. Oh, didn't look like that. All right, I'll roll it manually. All right, so you let loose this massive explosion, which everyone else hears definitely, even through the solid wall. Oh, there they are. Cool. One rolls an natural 20, perhaps knowing this is coming. 18 as well. 16 was a fail, though, I think.
Yep.
So
So
that takes out one of the guards immediately. He starts tumbling down. His body kind of collapses at the bottom.
Carriers, please tell me that's you trying to break down the door.
no, that's me fighting the guys who basically I just got told to take them out while they're separated. So I'm just defending myself.
Right. Okay.
Apologies. I did go for thunder damage, which hopefully won't kill them, though that might deafen them.
Don't die.
Hey, someone who blown out their eardrums. Sure.
No.
The third one is also visible now, so you can see him. Okay, that was a nice explosion. Anything else?
I'm just gonna move back against the wall and just have my glaive at the ready, and it's just like, Yep.
Okay. Andy, you're up. I think you was mid-pattern pressing.
I mean, all she'll probably do is she'll be pride and well, I don't even know what my brain was trying to think there.
Primed and ready.
Primed and ready. Thank you. Primed and ready to run through the door.
Okay. You can get closer if you want to.
Yeah, she'll probably sneak over, and as soon as there's a gap big enough for her to get through, because she's teeny, she will run her way through. So, I'm gonna stand right over here.
Cool. Okay. Irina.
All right. We have a plan, right? The plan is to open and run.
Yep.
Oh boy. Okay.
Wait. Interesting question. If I'm pressing the buttons and the blinky thing shuts the door as soon as it sees someone, how do I make it through?
Hatclo raises a hand.
That's why I was saying the guys in the other room. There's 3 of them. They could press buttons, then go lock themselves in the room.
True.
But it's not Tatclo's turn yet. Tatclo could potentially activate one. Last one if you wanted.
Yeah. You want to? He's at the bottom of initiative somewhere.
Yeah.
So for now, Irina, do you want to?
Yeah, I'm literally making sure that I'm within. So, which button am I pressing? The one that I'm nearest to?
No, it's
already?
this one is the last one. It just needs that one to be pressed.
Okay, I'm gonna stay where I am then, because I can kind of turn myself sideways, mage hand it, and then leg it. Is what I'm gonna have to do. So I'm holding my action to do that mage hand. So when I'm told go, I press the button and I run.
All right. Llewellyn.
Well, is Tackler pressing the button then?
I mean, Taklo can press the button if you want to ready yourself to move through Irina. Because they're just after Llewellyn on initiative.
Yeah, but having Llewellyn closer to the door makes more sense because I can mage hand, so I can reach further.
Yeah, but what
Then
I'm
got to
saying
run-
is both of you could get near the door and Taklo will just activate the last switch. Because
can
he's
get
after
us-
Llewellyn.
Yeah, I can get right. Oh, I don't want to go into the symbols, but I can get right to there basically
Okay.
with a dash. I do have 5 extra feet after that, but I can't use it because the door's locked.
Yeah. Well, what you could do is you could go 30 feet of your movement and then ready your action to dash.
Oh, I can do that. Yeah, I can do that. You're right. You're right. That's smart. I done. Yeah, that's
Okay.
what I
So
do.
your plan is to move to there and then hold your
Yeah,
movement.
and with
Yeah.
that movement, I can just get to the.
All right. Cool. Okay. One of the guards rushes down to you, Carius. If he's going to get a chance to hit you there. Yeah, he's got a spear. Fortunately, he does see you with his passive perception, and of course, you let loose a spell anyway.
Yeah.
So they weren't surprised. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
17 to hit you. Spear connects, deals 5 points of piercing damage. Oh. Go, Tacklo.
Alright. Taklo just looks to Irina. Do you want me to press the switch or?
Please and thank you.
Okay. Taklo goes over to the switch and presses it.
And bam!
And you're doing your. Have you just moved on to the symbol as well, Evan?
No, it was only the fourth one that needed to be activated.
Oh, you
I
went you
think.
did the fourth one, didn't you? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've done. Yeah, pull, 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 and then that's my movement.
Basically, everybody just runs.
Yeah, you can use your held movement as well, Andy.
It's like as Llewellyn's running into the room, I'm also just like, why are we all doing this? We're gonna get trapped.
No, Taklo's just like, I can press the switches to get you out.
Thank you.
This tiny little pseudo dragon. I hold your door in my hands.
Yeah. Okay. And as soon as Andy and Llewellyn enter into the room, the eye suddenly sees you both, blinks, and shuts and locks the door again.
Ah.
Okay. Yeah.
Hmm.
Unless anyone else got their held movement.
Wouldn't
That's it.
Kashan have held their movement?
We all held our movement to run through the door, but
I didn't see you
move.
move. And
Yeah,
not to mention,
that's because
you're
I
like
realised
35
I didn't move close enough to the door, so I'd still be stuck anyway.
Yeah.
Sham would
Yeah.
have.
No, because I said Kajan wasn't aware of the plan until that moment.
Yeah, that's fair. Right.
So he was. He
Yeah.
did move though. He did move around.
Yeah,
You can move
move
around
up
next
near the door, I guess, and then
Mhm.
and for the rest of Taklo's movement, I'll just move them start moving them round so they can get to where the switch is, and then they just pause for a moment and just be like, "You might need to leave something heavy behind because I don't know if I'm heavy enough for the pressure plate."
That's fair. Poor little guy. All right. The bottom of initiative. All right. This guard comes rushing down. 30. And sees you three, pulls out a heavy-looking crossbow, and goes to shoot Llewellyn.
Oh, no.
I don't know why you, but I rolled for it, so 14 to hit Llewellyn.
And for
It
some
looks like
reason,
you're the least. That'd be why you're the least armored. So it's an easy hit for him to get. A 9.
I go to raise a shield, and as I raise my hand up, the arrow goes through my hand. I'm like, ah!
Oh, yeah, this bolt sticking straight through as you realize you are spent.
Yeah.
Okay, that's its go. We are back to the top of the round. Kishan can definitely run up to the pressure plate and begin the next sequence. And he looks
Yeah.
towards you, Irene, and he says, "Ready? Keep an eye out." Ding.
I can't
Ding,
because I can't see it.
ding,
There's no graphics.
ding.
damn it!
Echo can help.
Yeah, I
wasn't paying-
just missed. I was trying to write it out, but I was on the wrong tool. Good, Kashan just activated it again. I realized.
Yeah, I wasn't.
Then that was 4.
Okay. And he'll hold his action to run in.
Yeah.
And of course, he's asking the other guys back there. He's like, "Could you guys come in here and help as well? Help this sequence?" And Golu's just gonna step on in.
Yep.
And the baker's son as well. Why not?
Yeah, why not?
Okay. It's Karis's go.
Alright, Carius is going to run up to this guy and hit him with the good old booming blade combo. So I'll roll the glaive damage first as he brings that wave bender's Liamano down his head. Blunt side. Just sort of slapped around the side of the head.
Okay, cool. The blunt side whacks around his head. He is knocked out.
Oh, really? Just with that? Without me? Okay.
He survived a shatter earlier.
Yeah, and Karis is just like...
And it's at this point, Karis, you realize you're not fighting evil monsters. These are just normal men and women who have always lived out their lives in dry ways.
And then he's just like, well, surrender or you're next.
This guy just shrugs and seems to undo the clasp on one of his long swords. Begins to unsheath it.
Well, I tried. Andy, he's all yours. I mean, Mackin, he's all yours. Get the nickname right. Well, we still... Yeah.
It is Andy's go.
I cannot see anything. There's nothing in this room.
Well, you do have very
Enemies
little
there.
vision as a human unless someone has cast light.
I mean, I usually rely on Irina's vision, but she's all the way in the other room.
Ah. He's over there.
Over where?
Here.
I point towards the.
Okay, keep your hand very, very steady when she gets her bow out.
I'm pointing the arrow that's through my hand at the end.
Cool.
Like that way.
Fantastic. She like tries to level her arrow up with the arrow in the man's hand.
She literally just borrows the arrow from the... Can I borrow this? You're not using it,
Return
right?
to sender.
Ah!
Hey, look, Kashan, I can deflect missiles too.
No, I guess it would be with disadvantage because you can't see.
Yeah, it would be.
Mm-hmm. So, do it. So
Okay, let's see what you got there.
22 to hit.
Still a hit, believe it or not. So,
fantastic.
points of piercing damage to him. Yeah. Grunts as it sticks into him, but he doesn't seem to be as face as the other lesser guards there.
Cool.
Okay.
Thanks, Llewellyn. You can be my eyes now.
Cool.
It's Irina's go.
Okay, I am waiting for my cue and running. So once again, holding my action to run through the
Yeah.
door.
You might want to move close to the door before you...
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm literally using my movement to get that, and then my action will be to run through the door.
Dash. Yeah. Okay. And Llewellyn.
I don't want to do Toll the Dead. Let's go with Chill Touch.
Most inappropriately named spell in D&D.
So the way we see it is Llewellyn starts like swiping with his hand, and from the walls and the ceiling for each D8 is just like this ghostly hand that comes out the wall and slams him one way, then slams him another.
Nice. Okay, yeah, it's working as
Please
well.
tell me one has an arrow through it.
Yeah. But wow, a 2, a 1, and a 2.
I like to think that one of the hands is just a hook.
Yeah.
One with
Yeah.
an arrow through it, one with a hook.
Yeah.
The one is that, the other one's a skeletal. It looks like it's been rotting away.
But 5 damage. That is terrible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he
Oh,
seems to weather it pretty well.
Again. And what type of spell did you do when you did poorly? Necrotic. You suck
Okay.
at necrotic.
It's true, yeah. Necromancer sucks at necrotic.
Not when I
Oh,
do
well.
Toll the Dead.
Okay, Tackler is up. And we
Right,
can start
so-
doing that sequence.
So, what's Taclo's movement speed? It's 60-foot fly speed. So, 1, 2, then dash, 3, 4. Yes, Taclo has enough movement when dashing to do it all.
Wow, that's actually pretty impressive. Okay, cool. Alright, the door opens and it slides away,
Both of them
revealing
dash
a
through.
chamber beyond.
Can't move Kashan.
Will Kashan make it?
Well, we can't move his token.
only playing with you. There you go. He's run in, nearly tripping over the actual
So,
pressure plate.
Carius just sort of looks at this guard as everyone rushes in and goes, "So what was that about taking people out whilst they're separated?"
Didn't expect you to solve the puzzle so quickly and easily. But I
Because I am smart.
We are very good at Simon Says.
for a party which doesn't know any music, this would be a lot tricky. Okay. All right. So it is his go actually.
Yep.
Pretty retreat. Yeah.
Okay, he provokes an attack opportunity from me because I use a pole arm, so he's within my reach.
And he reach.
You know that scene in The Princess Bride where Count Rugen like pauses when Inigo like goes, "You killed my father, prepare to die." There's that pause, and then he sort of gets into position, and then he runs away.
Okay, and with Warcaster, I'm going to do this as a booming blade. So I'll swing with the Wavebender first as he runs away, and then I'll see what I do.
Tries to dodge your cursor so that he doesn't get targeted.
Aha!
Oh wow, you got him.
And then the booming blade damage, which I hopefully fixed.
Ow.
So the 12 damage normally, and then if he moves, it's another 3d8, which he is moving.
Yeah.
I would like to remember to say non-lethal.
Yeah, non-lethal.
Not kill innocent people.
Okay, didn't expect that amount of damage on a flipping attack of opportunity. 7, 19, You did like 31 damage or something.
I did
ridiculous.
34 damage to him
34 damage, yeah.
on a
and he is
cantrip.
knocked out as he just turns around, tries to run up the stairs, and you just see that blade connect just on the tip of his shoulder, and he falls down. He's about to crawl up the stairs, and then suddenly looks down, and that explosion of thunder damage sends you back to his feet, back to the bottom of the stairs, near your feet, rather. And I think that's that. That'll be the combat right there.
And Karis is just like, They said they were going to take us out where we were separated. I took them all out.
Right.
Take us out while we're separated suggests they're watching.
Yeah, I'm wondering if this is some sort of spy device or they were listening, perhaps.
So, can we open this door and go put these three in the cages as well? Because I can, if you want, I can make it so the eye can't see us and it can't lock the door behind us.
That sounds like a good idea.
So, all gather around the door.
Can I just, before we do this, can I just investigate this room to see if there's a switch on the inside of the room?
That would be a
Please.
good point.
You can
Yes.
roll an investigation check.
I will also try to investigate.
Otherwise, they'd have to do this puzzle every time they came through this room.
That's mine. Yeah, Irina's
24.
better.
Okay, yeah. You look around the room, Karis, trying to find anything on the walls and ceiling, and you don't seem to find any switch. But Irina, you notice on the floor there is an urn that seems to be devoid of sand, unlike the others, which have kind of been either tipped over or broken. And as you go to like look over towards it and either interact with it, you realize it's actually stuck to the floor. You can't move it. It's like almost like glued there.
Pop it.
Sorry,
Twist it. Pop it.
you twist it. You try to move it, and it's still stuck there. But you do manage to pull the lid off, and inside you see that there is a small like lever. Not like a lever. It's more like a what's it called? Like a pulley.
Plunger.
No, not a plunger. Think of it more like a cord attached to a handle.
A ripcord.
Yes, thank you.
I reach for it.
Yeah.
Is anyone going to say the line?
Pull the lever, like Irina.
Yep.
Okay.
Let it
Yeah,
rip.
and as you pull the ripcord, it does suddenly activate a mechanism that releases the door.
Oh, well, that's easier. Right, let's drag the bodies. We'll drag them.
Yeah.
So it's not too much effort. You guys get the bodies out here. You accidentally rub them across the walls, and they play a number of tunes as their bodies are dragged over them, like doo 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 doo.
Basically like a cat walking over a piano.
Yeah.
It'd be a little sad that we don't get to do that again. I liked that. That's a fun room.
There's enough cages where you can easily stuff them all in there.
Yeah,
But Carrier sort of looks to them and he's going to... Will any of them fit in the one the child was in?
Yes,
I'm also
actually.
going to suggest that before you stuff them away, make sure you empty their pockets in case they've
Yeah.
got keys and pick locks.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I
specifically
want
keys.
to put the veteran in the child's cage
Want more keys?
Sure.
because I dislike him the most.
he was
with a
cursed,
spear.
I don't care.
I think. Some of them weren't cursed.
Exactly. So we don't know, and I gave him a chance, and he didn't take it. I'm punishing him for his stupidity.
There you go. They are all stuffed away in cages, locked up. As you loot them, you find no valuables whatsoever. No keys either, by the looks.
Yeah, but anything that can be used to pick a lock. So hairpins,
Okay.
random bits of metal wire jewelry, things like that. It's all got to come off.
Wait,
All right, you
What-
practically strip them of anything that could be used in that manner.
Wait, one of these is unconscious and in a cage. That shouldn't be unconscious. There was one in each cage when I first came in, and now there's 1, 2, 3, and the little 1, 2, 3, including the little one. Did we knock one of them out by accident?
There would. Oh, it might be that
yeah,
some
yeah,
of them were
yeah,
linked
yeah.
together.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
There you go. That makes sense.
Yeah,
then.
yeah, there we go. Sorry about that. Cool, yeah, it was one of the guards. And this guard looks around and he does see his. He's like, they're my fellow guardsmen from the Dry Oasis. What?
We
Did you?
think they might be cursed. They're merely unconscious.
Oh,
They'll be saved once we're
Yeah,
able
we
to.
we just need to go deal with the source of the curse, and then yeah.
Anyway,
the, before you go though, know that should you face the Mistress of the Sands, then he may be subject to the same effect that put us in these cages in the first place.
oh yeah, we're way past that.
And what was that effect?
There was a musical tune. She tried to warp our minds. Me and the others here, we somehow managed to resist it. Isn't that right? And then you hear them go, "What?" I said, "We resisted it. We resisted the tune, the magical charming, the magical farming." What? Sorry, dear, my hearing isn't all that it used to be.
I may have temporarily deafened them.
Yeah.
No,
Also-
this isn't one you deafen. This is just a
Oh,
kind of older person who's just perhaps lost their hearing, and
But-
the Mistress of the Sands didn't realize that at the time, and so he says the ones who were resistant were chucked here in cages.
Yeah.
Mm.
But that's what
Mm.
these are for anyway, because we're all wearing the corks.
Oh, right. That might not help you, but best of luck.
We also have our own bard who will conquer them in this battle of the bards.
So
No pressure then.
so Golu and the child's gonna come back. He's got not the child, the Golu has got the key for this door. He's gonna keep you locked in here just until we get back because
Safety.
we want you to be safe and we don't know what might come wandering.
Okay.
You know what? My brain is just saying, Karis, you say that, but if it's, we want to disrupt this woman's power and stop her curses, maybe Llewellyn's bagpipes are a better option in this instance.
I mean, that's true, but I didn't want to big up his ego too much.
Honestly, if we're going into this with me tapped, I'll happily play the bagpipes the whole way.
To be fair, it's an appropriate time for bagpipes in battle. That's what they were originally used.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if she tries to play her song, I will definitely pipe in.
Yeah, there you go.
Drown her out.
Drown her out with your piping bags.
I mean, speaking of that, I mean, it might give them chance to prepare and stuff, but I'm wondering if with the hut, if we set up here, it might be worthwhile time to rest and recover. So I'm almost tapped as well.
Yeah, but that eyeball in the middle of the room.
In the middle of the room?
Well, it was
I don't know
here.
where it is. Where is it? Oh, it's
Here.
there.
Well,
To
the,
be
I mean, it's
fair, the tiny hut is opaque from the outside, so nothing can see in. But we can see out.
don't they still see like a dome?
Yeah, they'll see a dome, but
we could potentially, yeah. They'll know we're
Potentially
here.
Surround it for when it ends, and then.
Well, if they surround it, more for them.
All right. I mean,
I'm
I'm
just,
tapped, so-
I'm just thinking like I could do it. The thing is, a short rest isn't gonna cut it for me or Velen. For yourself, Irina, because Kennewick likes to recharge you on shorter times. But yeah,
hey, I'm down to follow you guys.
I literally have on me 1/5 and 1/7, and that is it.
I have 5 charges and a staff of swarming.
I mean, we can.
And a flask of alchemist fire.
I mean, we can try to push forward and see if we maybe just scout things out a bit more.
Carius, no offense to you, but you look pretty pale for a blue guy.
Yeah.
He's looking grey.
I
Yeah.
didn't want to say that, but yes, he looks more drow than tiefling right now.
Well,
No offense.
Drow.
yeah, like I said, a rest would be helpful, but if it's going to have any real benefit, it'll have to be a longer one.
Right, I'm gonna start ritually casting the hut. If you need me to stop within the next 10 minutes, just let me know.
I would like to, while he's setting up the hut, I would like to check out the evil eye. Like, is there a way to switch this off? Is it...
Yeah, you can give me an Arcana check if there is anything you can
Probably.
recognize
You
about it.
distract it with a ball of yarn, like a can of cat.
18?
Okay. 18. You guess that this is potentially one of the other effects which are synonymous with the guards and wards, and it could be effectively like an alarm trigger. It seems to only really be affected when someone enters into the room. Is the only noticeable change when it blinks and shuts the door. It's clearly linked to that, which is the door is clearly linked to the arcane locks that surround this place.
So the fact
seems
that
to be
I've
for the
opened the door from the inside, has that made any change to it?
No, you didn't see anything.
Hmm.
But it's clearly some sort of sensor that allows it. Obviously, it's automated as well, whatever it is. The closest kind of spell you think of it is either like the alarm or the magic mouth spell.
Alright, there's not much to be done then. It's just
It's a
irritating.
minor spell though. But I don't think you've got much left to dispel it with.
I can't dispel magic. I can remove
No.
curse, that's it.
Yeah. Okay then.
I could
So
try.
for now, it's just going to be watching you.
I mean, as it seems to be made out of sand, Karis is going to just try to use the gust cantrip to see if he can blow it away.
Yeah, I will say it definitely dissipates for however long your gust cantrip lasts. But
Yeah, it
after
doesn't
a
last long.
minute or so, you do see the sand begin to rise back up and seem to begin swirling again. So only temporarily
Yeah.
gets
Mm.
rid of it. But I mean, there's no limit.
Oh, that's perfect. How? Oh, I'm echoing. So what I'll do then
Oh.
is I'll do my hut here, and as the hut goes to activate, Carius, do your gust, and it shouldn't be able to pass through the hut, so it won't be able to be here because magical effects can't pierce the hut. I'm using the hut as a shield from whatever this effect is, basically.
But won't we be inside the hut with it?
Not if you gust it out beforehand. Just beforehand.
Well, but if it's not a matter, it's going to reform regardless, I think, and it's not really causing us a problem. It was purely when we came into the room, and we now know how to open the door from the inside, so like it's causing us any hassle.
Sure.
What do you think, Catman?
I will do whatever the group decides, but
Okay.
I'm okay to continue. I'll keep watch.
Kashan, you've really acclimated to the accent of the area.
I mean, this is how I normally speak.
What, like you're from the Claude Coast? Wow.
No, I've always spoke a bit like this.
Okay. Anyway, that's enough of that shenanigans.
Kishan does say, like, I could just check up ahead if you want me to scout.
No, stay with the group.
If we're gonna
You can scout later once we've all rested.
if we're gonna send anyone to scout, It'll be Tackler.
Can
Sure.
you agree not to split the party?
Yep. Does that include Tackler?
I mean, Taklo can poof in and out. I'm sure he's
Yeah.
brave, courageous, and able to look after himself.
And he's like,
And I
but
give
and
Taklo a pat.
he's like, you all owe me a bottle of whiskey, and then he'll go off to scout ahead while we're in the hut.
As soon as he tries to fly up the stairs, you suddenly see Taklo get stuck in something, and he like wobbles slightly, and you see its wings are just all jammed up and gunked by a large. Where is it?
Web.
Web.
That checks out. That was one of the things on the list.
Yep.
Yep, correct. Was
He will attempt to make a strength check to break free.
yeah, sure. It's either that or you can always bamf him away. But
I'm just gonna have him make the strength check just for the hilarity. Nope.
yeah,
And then
you
he
see
just
Taklo.
bamps away, and we'll be bamfed back over here.
Okay, no worries. Yeah, it just seems as though these webs make
Yeah.
it difficult to maneuver, but now that they've kind of appeared magically, they're very visible.
Right.
I'm just can't.
I know I have wings, but I'm not a fly. I shouldn't get caught in webs.
I mean, you are also kind of part lizard, I guess. You could just walk along the floor.
True.
It's not much of an obstacle, if I'm honest. You can see the webs now. You could even get rid of them if you really wanted.
Yeah.
You know you can bamf him 30 feet away.
Yeah, I know. Karis, because I'm pretty sure this is part of Find Familiar, right? You can cast a spell with range of touch. I'm just gonna have him like shocking grasp the thing away by Carius.
Cool. Okay, one by one, you clear the space, step by step, and the webs they are destroyed from the shocking grasp,
Yeah.
leaving a clear set of stairs. And you begin ritually casting whilst Taklo scouts ahead. Now, I will pop Taklo on there and drag Carius to the map.
Yep.
The easiest way to do this. 20 you. There you go. Full to scene. Okay. As you come up to the top of the stairs, you see there is magical light illuminating this area from several torches, but the light on the torches just kind of bobbing up and down, and very familiar to like the dancing light spell. So it's actually not fire; it's just sort of placed on top of the torch to make it look like it is.
So.
And as soon as you come to the top of the stairs, you're met with a figure that is pointing a finger directly at you, with some sort of scroll in their hand, and Taklo has got dark vision, doesn't they?
Yes. They also have blind sight.
Okay, cool. So yeah, you see this figure standing there, pointing directly at you, and you see everything in greys. And I mean, actually, no, the dancing lights allows you to see. Normally, there is a grey texture all over this figure.
Taklo will get closer and try to have a look at the statue, see if there's any distinctive markings, I guess, or anything that might.
Yeah. It's only for a moment you realize this figure isn't moving. It is completely still. And as you get closer, the finger doesn't seem to trace Taklo's movements. It is indeed just a statue. And as you get closer, you can tell they're perhaps from the dry oasis, just from their general clothing and style. But they are not anyone recognizable, like from you've met or anything like that.
No.
But you do hear music playing up in down in this lower level. You can definitely hear the Duke a lot clearer than what it was before. And I need Taklo, as he's staring at the statue, to make me a wisdom saving throw.
Yeah, he does have advantage on these because magic resistance, but
Well, natural 20. join the club downstairs with the ones who got imprisoned. They also rolled natural 20s in order to resist this. But yeah, you definitely hear the music, and it lulls you for a moment, almost draws you closer. And as Taklo's mind sort of kind of wanders from side to side, their eyes are drawn to the pattern on the floor, which seems to swirl and swerve towards a set of doors. It feels like his eyes are being led there for a moment, but his eyes and mentality are clear, and he's able to shake off that effect.
Hmm. Okay, and then he's just gonna have a look at the statue, see if there's anything.
Statue is surprisingly lifelike. Very well, very good details on them, but they're sort of in an accusative stance as well. They seem to have a written piece of document in their hand, but it's rolled up, so you can't really read what it says.
But all of it's stone. Okay.
It is, yeah, including the scroll. Yeah, that too is also stone.
Based on the sound, does it seem like the Duke is coming from the door it was trying to lead me to?
That's sort of where you felt you were being drawn to, yeah.
Okay, then.
There is another door off to the left as well. So you've got the double doors in front and the door to the left, and there's a little fern in the corner.
Yeah.
Which looks very...
Do the doors
exotic.
have any gaps or keyholes or anything?
No, they don't. These don't look like they're locked, as there's no keyhole.
Okay, then Taklo is gonna hide in the fern and just sort of be a scout, so, because obviously if anyone was to come down to us, they'll have to go past him.
True. Okay.
And he blends really oddly well with the green. I can barely see him.
Yeah, very true. He's almost like a little chameleon, just sort of sits down on the leaf and then blends in. So about 2 minutes or so do go by. Give me a perception check for Taklo.
Okay, but it's based on sight, hearing, or smell, so he does have an advantage on this as well. Where's his perception? Very useful. 15.
Okay. Yeah, you hear voices, and they're coming from the set of double doors. And let me think. Yeah, I'm gonna say you can hear the voices are saying, well, they haven't come back, so they're either being dispatched or disposed of. Do we send another? They could be waiting lying in wait for us. Best we go together. In fact, the troglodytes said that they created a magical barrier earlier. Yes, that is true. You can hear a feminine voice and says, "I'll bring the sorcerer then." Yes, good idea. And a few moments more go by. And then you see the door open, the set of double doors.
Yeah. Taklo will be relaying this telepathically to Karis. He's just sort of chilling at the moment, trying to relax, and he's just like,
Okay.
And Karis would just be like, looks like we're going to have company, guys, and by the sounds of it, they're bringing a spellcaster. Might be trying to dispel us.
He's good, that one. You definitely hear the doors open. You see two figures immediately step out. One is a fire genasi. She has a great sword strapped to her back, and what else? Yeah, she seems to be casting like a flame in her hand just to light the way as she's moving forward. The other one looks like it could be some sort of like bounty hunter or a sellsword, but he looks well armed and well equipped. And lastly, the third figure you see stepping out. And by the way, as these doors are opened, you definitely hear the music louder still, and the Duke is playing quite clearly into your ears. But the third figure that steps out from behind the two is someone you recognize. It is another fire genasi, and he has kind of graying hair and a white beard. He's got a scarf wrapped around his head, wrapped around his neck, sorry, and he's got a spear in one hand. It is Harthir.
Half there.
Yeah.
Okay, if I'm told two fire genasi are on their way down, I'm gonna go hide in sort of like a dark side corner, and Investiture of Flame is coming up. Fire
Yeah.
resistance.
Yeah. And Garrus is
Immunity,
just.
isn't it?
Yeah. Why are the cameras frozen? Let me see if I can fix that.
So am I carrying on with this, or
I mean,
It's about 6 minutes into your ritual.
carry on with it, and perhaps Kashan and Irina and Andy and myself can hold him off whilst this is happening.
It's immune to fire damage and
Yeah.
then resistance to cold.
interesting question? If I'm casting a ritually, am I able to cast spells so long as they're not concentration?
Nope,
No, I'm just not. I'm focusing
I
on this.
don't
That's
think you are.
Yeah.
Because it's a constant casting. I'll say this. Give me a stealth check on Tackler as well, because I forgot to mention that. And I'll say with advantage because he's found a nice little space. He's a tiny creature, and he does kind of blend in quite well. Saved you from a one there. So 19. You don't seem to be spotted, Tackler, and the doors have been left open as well. Just as a pointer.
Yeah.
They get up towards the stairs, but they don't just immediately charge down. They seem to be discussing just a battle tactic real quick. But if you wanted to maneuver Tackler, you can.
Yeah. Taclo, now that they've gone past and don't seem to be looking, is just going to slowly try to sneak into the room. And seeing what looks like another plant, he's going to immediately fly to the plant and hide in that.
Okay. Can Tackler make me a dexterity saving throw?
Is it a magical thing?
It is, but it is also not
Carnivorous
magical.
plant.
Okay, 14. You see that
Cactus.
as you land on the cactus, you see it suddenly bulging and it shoots out all these little spikes straight towards you. In fact, let me get a little visual for you. There we go. And as it shoots out, Tackler is taken out by just a single point, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he tries to dodge out of the way of a few, but one of them connects in his back, and he is shut down. I'm afraid.
So the last thing you hear from Taclo probably is, "Damn plants!"
Yeah. Sorry, the cactus was not a friendly plant.
Yep.
Okay.
I have to
But
resummon
I'll just
Taclo
describe
again.
the room. You saw a long red carpeted, carpet, and then there was a more snaking mosaics all around this room. There were several more statues with lifelike qualities, and there were braziers filled with magical light, illuminating this kind of hallway entrance with another set of double doors at the back. And that's going to be Tackler's.
I should have gone for
turn.
I should have gone for the other ballsy maneuver, which was to have him sneak up behind one of these and Karis cast a spell through him and just shocking grasp one of them.
Oh wow, that'd be kind of mean. All right, I'm going to drag you back to the other one.
Yep.
So for now, the rest of you guys now knowing what's coming, Irina's cast Vesture of Flame. They are burning. What do you guys do? Anyone else? You've got an action to.
I start
Do whatever you
practicing my
like.
scales.
Karis is just like, I guess I'm gonna get ready. Well, I'm gonna hold the action because I don't know how long they're gonna be. But Karis is basically preparing to cast a spell, but not necessarily readying it.
Let me have a look what that does. So, launchers.
I like the idea that Kashan is kind of like tucked at the side of the doorway, waiting for them to come up, and he's just immediately going to do a Rafik and just go, "Hiya!"
Right,
the minute they come through the doorway.
Yeah, he
just-
can try. Give me a little stealth check on his.
His sheet. I don't have the permissions on to.
Yeah, okay, you don't, do you? All right. Not to worry, I'll make it. I'm sure he'll be invisible by the time they get there because he will effectively blend into the shadows with his cloak. But yeah, he's practically invisible now. And okay, so that's Karis ready. Oh, sorry, Kashan even. Arena's on fire. And what else?
Karis will actually hold position on the other side with his glaive at the ready.
Yeah,
Why not?
I could stop the spell that I'm doing for Tiny Hut. I could spend one charge to create a 30 feet radius of harmless insects that is heavily obscured.
How long have you got left to cast before?
4
He's
minutes.
got about. He's got down. So they would have been just discussing for about a minute or two. So you've got like 2 minutes left on the spell.
I would say keep casting, because obviously if someone goes down, we can at least get them to safety that way if you manage to get it up.
True, but if they do manage to get here in time and hit me, I may lose concentration.
Can you not go behind? Is that a pillar in the middle of the room? Give yourself some cover.
Do I need to stay in place to ritually cast?
Not for. I'll say for Tiny Hut, you can move within that area for it.
Okay.
But you've got, just so you're aware, 2 minutes is like what, 20 rounds or something.
Yeah.
That's
You're
Yeah,
gonna
but
be.
again, if it gets disrupted, then we've got to do another 10 minutes and someone might attack up and
Yeah,
just keep going, Lavella.
There's only 3 of them.
Or I could just get out of the room. If
Uh,
you like, let's
I will
just.
say, correct. There is only 3 of them.
I'll
But
just
judging from the gear, what they're wielding, you see this guy who does not look like a normal guard by any stretch.
Yeah, I know.
And
I still have my ultimate ace up my sleeve if I really need it.
I want to see what's going on actually. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna be like doing my thing with whatever, and I'm just gonna walk out the room. Have fun, guys.
okay, this is initiative again. Get everyone on.
Cool.
Damn, Irene. Damn,
Oh, come
Andy.
on. No, I get a nat 20. I'm not even part of the fight.
Okay.
God damn
Okay,
it.
let's get this underway. Andy, you're up first. You hear their footsteps.
She's not wearing headphones. She's nipped off for a second.
Okay.
Do it back
Well,
again.
Irina, you'll be up as well very soon. You can also hear their footsteps.
Yeah, I'm literally holding fire. I'm gonna move myself here, and then the minute they come within range, I'm launching a wall of fire using the investiture, basically.
Yep, like a 15-foot.
Yeah. Well, actually, do you know what? I'm gonna hold my Eldritch Blasts instead. That makes more sense for now until they're in the room.
Okay.
Then I can keep out of Kashan's way.
I think you can see them from there.
Oh, sweet. In which case, yeah, I'm popping off rounds.
Cool.
Right, who we got? Right, this dude looks like the beefiest one, doesn't he? He's the scariest one.
He looks armored and he's wielding dual scimitars. Yeah.
All right. on, Candlewick. Don't fail me now. 1, 2, ooh,
Nice and crit.
3. Dang, nabbit.
Ah, the third is a miss only.
No, he gets 2. And hang on. I should have hexed him first. Dang it. Never mind.
Okay.
I suppose you could still hex him now, just as your bonus or whatever.
Yeah, that's. I think I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna put Hex Blades curse on him.
Okay, understood. What else? You don't need. Do you need 2 to explode now, right?
No, not yet.
No.
No,
2
it's
is the next level up,
Oh, okay then.
I think.
Yeah, you're probably right because that's pretty damn powerful. So and if only that last one had hit, it'd have got a nice little explosion off in the start. So that one is fuming, and he says, "There they are," and he's just going to start charging down. But Velen, you're up. You're casting a
Velen.
ritual.
Llewellyn he's on the ball. He is like, he's really ready for casting this ritual. He puts a thumbs up through the door like, I've got this. That's my turn.
Cool. Okay.
As Kirsty is back, should we do her turn?
Yeah, if
Yeah,
you're back
indeed.
there, Kirsty, then you can see 3 figures appear at the top of the stairs. One of them is. Well, actually, they're not technically on fire. But yeah. Erin is illuminating a little bit.
I will move
She's
Can
just,
see.
over there as well. Yeah.
she's just
And
kind of
they're
like
actually
giving
giving
the
off
side
light
eye
as well.
and continues to play the violin, practicing the scales. She's not going to try attacking quite yet.
Boy. Okay then. Yeah, they are giving off light. Several of these. The 2 of them are fire genasi. In
Maybe want to move.
that case, then
Yeah, should corner there. Not that.
So
the
she
tortoise is around.
gets to the bottom of the stairs here. Doesn't see Kashan or Carius because you're tucked around the corners.
Yep.
So Irina and Andy are really the 2 targets she's got eyes on. And, well, she begins casting a spell. Ooh, boy. You see fire in one hand, and you see a light beaming with white energy in the other, and she slams them together and then sort of kamehamehas them towards you. And let's see. It can hit both of you. Actually, I guess not, because there's a pillar in the way.
I'm
Oh,
actually
wait, yeah,
curious
no, she can.
what this is.
She can, actually. She just aims it here.
Oh god.
All right. Boom. As it erupts and explodes, I need both of you to make dex saves.
Why don't you take none of the fire damage?
No,
Yeah.
I don't. I'm immune to fire, so.
Mm-hmm. All right. Both of you are completely caught off guard by this firepower. This thing explodes and erupts with light and fire. Thankfully, Arena, you only feel the scorch of the radiant damage, which is 12. So you only take.
No, can you dodge that? No, you take-
Yeah, that
Yeah,
looks
that's
correct.
true.
Wait, no, you should be on. Let's do that. 12. There we go.
And Andy's doing
fortu-
uncanny dodge, so she takes half damage.
Can't do that on a dex save.
Evasion,
You can
though.
only
Oh
do it
no,
on-
I'm thinking. No, you don't have that yet, do you? You can't.
Don't have evasion. No.
Evasion. That's the one.
That's a high level rogue ability. So I'm afraid in this instance, caught off guard, this thing does boom and explode, dealing quite a bit of damage to you, but you're still standing, and
Oh, dear.
they kind of look impressed by the fact that you're still standing after that. It is Harthir's go. Begins stepping down the steps, kind of getting out of the way of his ally there. And as he looks down and sees all of you, there is a look of recognition in his eyes.
I'd just point at him and look at the others and be like, I told you so!
Didn't
He
doubt
can't
you,
help
Sam.
but hide. He can't try it yet. He can't hide his smile. Sort of spreads across his face there. And what is he gonna do? Alright.
Traitor!
A number of different spells. Hmm. Start with that. Yeah. Gonna cast Spiritual Weapon. Pop it on Irina. I think if 15 hits you, does it?
Nope.
Nope. Okay. So you see this, what appears to be like a small miniature, like flaming dancer spinning around with like streamers, and as it flies through you, you see the radiant burst from it, but you manage to duck out of the way. The spiritual weapon continues to dance there in place, and then as an action, they are going to. Let's do a create bonfire. Why not? Yeah, on Andy. Okay, so Andy makes a dex save. 2 ones for damage. And you easily dodge out of the way of it. It appeared like super slowly in front of you. You just see like a log, another log, and then they slowly erupt in flame. And it's the easiest thing you've ever had to dodge in your life. And the flame that erupts from it is so puny and pathetic. You don't even feel like if you hadn't dodged it, you probably would have done nothing. But to avoid charring your clothing, you just step out of the way. And that's his go. Carrius, you're up.
Darius just sort of looks at the rest of the party and it's like, I realise that these might be cursed, but I don't have a lot else, so you okay with me going all out on this?
Go for it. He betrayed us. Do
Yep,
it.
Carius takes a step forward. So I'm going to target Harthir as the primary source of this. And it feels like such a waste, but yeah, at the same time, it might end the fight in one go, so... And we will use, of course, Destructive Wrath for this. And then...
Are you targeting all 3 of them?
Yes, but normally, like, after I target the first one, it asks me to target the others. It doesn't seem to have done
Didn't
that.
know this. I think the sequencer is in need of an update. Oh yeah, I think I deleted the old one.
Oh, okay.
Oh, well, we'll get the new one sorted next time.
Yeah.
So all of them need to make a dex save though, right?
Yep.
So
Or they take 80 lightning damage.
sure.
Because
After it fails.
I'm maximizing it.
Oh god, hold on. Yeah, no, never mind. So 5, 15, and 8, they all fail.
So enjoy that 80 damage.
How much?
80.
Okay, they're all unconscious. That's combat over. Not even joking. Yeah, that is the biggest. It's the biggest explosion you've got in your arsenal, like the biggest
Yep.
burst. Actually, one of them's alive. One. My
Which
lord.
one?
It is the female fire genasi that just launched a flame strike at the both of you.
You know what? Just because Karis would have, I'm dumb. He would have moved 10 feet. He would have moved that close, little bit closer because she's within 10 feet of him. She would have taken the Heart of the Storm damage, which is an extra 6 thunder damage.
So, Harthir, as soon as you're about to do this, goes, no, Carius, no. And it just immediately fried as the electricity sends him flying back, and he is knocked unconscious from it.
And that reaction tells me he was not cursed.
Yep.
Hence why he rolled. Hence why he missed Irina and missed Andy and did minimal damage. But oh well, let's move on.
I just love
It's-
the idea of
It's
Harry's
Charles' go.
coming round the corner and just going,
No,
"Hi!"
Yeah. It's like unlimited power.
Ishan is springing into action and immediately zippity yips out from the shadows.
And it's disappointed because there's no one there.
There is one person left alive who's like, what? And just sees Ishan connect. Oh, wait, misses?
Why didn't he use his +2 stuff? And why does that have like no bonuses applied at
I
all?
don't even use. I don't know why. You're right, he would have hit.
Yeah, that
Anyway,
has no
I'm just gonna-
bonuses applied.
He doesn't, does he? I don't know what he did there. Try that again. Okay, 9 points of bludgeoning damage. And, of course, another one. And he'll do an offhand punch. He's still barely standing, believe it or not.
Stun.
No, you're not going to waste key.
No.
Andy's up there.
Do you want to finish this off, Andy? Just
Bonk.
But this one is still alive.
I mean, I kind of don't want them all unconscious because I would rather we be try and get some answers out of these people.
now
Um,
we've got enough to heal one of them back up to wake him up once we've got him in a safe, secure location.
And don't you have spare the dead?
Yeah, I have
That's
spare
right.
the dying
oh, you have a
So you could spare them.
from death, but they're just unconscious. It was non-lethal lightning. That's not a thing.
Just need an action from Andy real quick before we.
Yeah, I'm. My brain's starting to fall asleep. All right, she's just gonna come right up then, and would I get?
I mean, she looks
dead as
absolutely
well?
fried.
Oh my god!
No,
Yes!
there it is.
No, probably don't even need the sneak.
No, you don't. How do you want to do this? You
She
gotta
just kind
finish
of
her.
strides right up, kind of like flipping the short sword over her hand, and just goes. I'm just
Okay.
tired of this. I want a nap.
Yeah.
She finds herself immediately going into a nap as well. And you almost feel jealous that they're able to fall asleep so quickly.
Well, mind you, actually, come to think of it, no, she's not going to use the blade bit of it. She's going to flip it over, use the handle, and just.
Yeah.
Crack her across the
Nice.
skull.
Yeah.
She is correct and out of it. And with that, silence fills the chamber. There is no more combat.
Should we
You
tie these
literally
ones up?
one-shot that encounter, Karis.
I
Oh
mean,
boy.
I feel
yeah, tying them up's a good idea.
yeah.
But
Well, we-
obviously they are fire ganassi, that they could burn any restraint.
I mean, we could go put them in the cells with the others, I guess.
Again, this one can cast magic.
Not if we gag them, potentially, and bind their hands. Should
Do you
stop them.
think? Do you think they would know the spell knock? Because the cells aren't magical.
True.
The only thing that I can think of is the spell knock that would open the cells.
I want to. Yeah, like after a couple of obviously last 10 minutes, this, so I'm just like
Yeah.
on fire.
Karis just spares the
Or
dying
something.
on each of them to make sure they don't die.
Just like,
Andy, check their
Okay.
pockets.
Righto.
And one of these had fancy armor and fancy swords, so yeah.
They did, yeah. You
At
say
le-
they're fancy, but they're not magical by the looks.
No, but hmm.
Yeah, Andy will go through their pockets, especially half theirs, and take
Okay.
anything there.
Now that we're more aware of how this curse works, sort of thing, once Llewellyn's got the hub, if I ritually cast detect magic, would I be able to tell if they've got the curse on them? See if they're cursed or we're doing this voluntarily?
Yes, I guess you could, yeah. Let's just, Andy, as you're looting them, you do find pinches of sulfur and other material components for casting spells on them. The only person who had anything of value by the looks is Harthir. He seems to still have, like a pouch of gold. They have their arcane focus. They have like a water skin, some rations, some rope.
All of it, any weapons, anything. She's just like, nope, oh, nope, nope.
Okay.
You're not
Yeah,
allowed.
you find two small, ornate-looking daggers on him as well, like
Yoink.
shamshoes, I think. No, not shamshoes. Cool. Small
Kukris?
curved. Yeah, like a Chris. Yeah. And yeah, you basically
Sorry.
take all of his components as well.
I'd give him a firm kick in the nose.
Rag. She's already
Poor guy.
unconscious.
Okay,
So-
yeah, you get, I'm gonna say, Andy, you get like 50 gold of them off
Nice.
Harthir.
So, am I able to hold the end of a ritual spell, or is this going to be like, quick, get?
I added-
Oh,
I added the gold for you. No, you
No,
can
what-
still cast the spell and finish it.
Yeah, so we'll just quickly nip in so that it's active whilst they're unconscious, and then we can just drag them out because it's only if you leave it finishes, right? We can go in and out.
a part of me was
Yep.
thinking like maybe I didn't have control of the end of the spell. It's like, quick, oh, you're outside the hut. It's
So you drag them back into the other room with the cages.
Yeah, once the hut's up and we've got it, then we'll
Yeah.
drag them there, I guess, and sufficiently
I still don't know about leaving these ones with that bot.
So
um
I'll just say out of game, most of the time, when a creature goes unconscious, they're out for several hours, just so you know.
yeah.
But several hours. We don't know how long we're going to be in here.
Well, we're going to be sleeping for or resting for at least 8, hopefully. But in terms of that, I mean, if they're bound and gagged and they don't have any material components or focuses, then they shouldn't be able to do anything.
Yeah, and the lock.
All right, be it on your head if anything goes wrong.
Well, it's either that or we leave them. I mean, we can leave them here, but or we could be mean and we don't trust that room with the sand. We could leave them in there and see what happens. Just saying. I don't mind. I just want a nap. That kind of that zap tapped me.
Oh, now you want to know?
I mean, I wanted to nap beforehand, but
Yeah, I'm cool. Whatever. It's the only thing we can think of if we don't want to kill them. Is
We can lock them up then.
How big's your dome?
it can fit up to 9 creatures according to the description,
It's about this big then.
but it's yeah.
Okay.
But the template only fits 8.
and
yeah.
People aren't 5 by 5 feet wide. Okay.
Yeah.
That's not what D&D tells us. But yeah.
Now picturing a game where everyone is just 5 by 5 cubes.
It's like Minecraft.
It depends on if they like lay arms splayed out, I guess, like starfishing. In
No,
which case, they might be.
Now I want to play a one-shot where we're all just 5 by 5 foot gelatinous cubes.
Reminds me
The
of
gelatinous cube race.
it reminds me of this
It's
game.
like
I
horse
was
racing, but with gelatinous cubes, because all they can do is charge and they devour all the obstacles at different rates. Oh my god, I need to do this as a thing.
The slogan for the race is "Be there or be square."
Yes.
Anyway,
It's gonna happen.
I
the hut
still
appears.
I still want to create a gelatinous D20 as a monster one day.
That'd be cool.
Hmm.
Yeah. So we've locked them up.
Yeah, you locked them up, gagged them, bind them, put them in a stew.
Cut off their hands, cut out the tongue.
No, that's a bit much. Let's not
No.
do
No,
that.
no, that's
oh,
your other character.
Yeah.
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 Anyways,
Stick them in the book.
okay.
What
So-
lies beneath gets a bit darker.
There is a magical barrier. I'm afraid, Irina, after about a minute or so, your investiture does run out. But
10 minutes, I think.
10 minutes.
yeah, it takes 10 minutes to fizzle out. But it has been 10 minutes. You guys are still in
Yeah.
the dome,
Yeah, and Karis is.
protected,
Oh,
and feeling smug about that previous fight, knowing that you obliterated it. But you did
Yeah.
supernova.
Mug, I'm irritated about, like, I'm still annoyed about Hearthir, to be fair.
Same.
from the spell components and stuff that we got off of them, would there be enough spell components, particularly charcoal and incense?
Yes.
Cool. Then I will spend the first bit of this long rest re-summoning up.
Tackler.
Yeah.
Okay, I
Cool.
have a question.
Tackler's back.
Actually, that takes an hour and 10 minutes to cast. But yeah,
Oh, does it? Okay.
yeah. But
You're
still,
taking a long rest,
yeah, that's the plan. I need a long rest.
Does Lavella need the full 8 hours? I can't remember.
Yeah, he's only half.
Once in a lifetime, I did only need 4 hours.
I'm literally just going to sort of. I'm still mad at him for pushing me down the stairs. So I'm not going to speak to him. I'm going to sit on the opposite side of the dome, and I'm literally just going to take a scroll out of my jacket, and I'm going to hand it to Andy and say, "Give this to Lavella." Just sulk.
She just wanders over to the Vela and she's. Irina said to give it this to you.
I look.
I
I
don't know
look
why
at.
she could not herself.
I look at Irina, who is skulking, and I go, "Here, hand this to Irina. Maybe it'll calm her down."
I'm not your messenger, girl. You know. Talk
I
to
do-
each other.
I do hand over a snuggle beast though. I'm just like, maybe if she hugs that, she'll calm down.
Lord. Oh, funny.
Why is she angry? Oh, yeah, I remember.
Also, Llewellyn, can I borrow your prestidigitation briefly?
Sure.
I want to make some strawberry flavoured water for Tackler again, some chilled strawberry water, because you can flavour it and I can colour it and chill it.
Now it tastes like strawberries covered in chocolate.
Probably.
Hmm?
Strawberries.
The scroll is spell scroll of slow.
Oh,
Oh.
very cool.
Thanks, Irina.
I
Yeah.
ignore Lavella completely.
Eh?
Oh no, someone cast silence on her.
Oh,
And I get my
No one
cape.
obviously did. She talked to me a moment ago.
So you get about an hour into this rest. You're able to finish summoning Taklo,
Yep.
and Taklo appears and they're like, "Ow, ow, ow, get it out!" And they're trying to like pluck at themselves,
Yep.
and they're not finding anything in there. Of course,
Yep.
it's just phantom pains. Like a cactus exploded on me. It was really unexpected.
Well,
I dodged a lot of them, but one of them just clipped me.
well, we know to be wary of cacti from now on. And also those people you warned about, they got zapped.
Oh, good job.
They're still alive, I think. I may have impact some neuroreceptors or something, preventing some forms of movement in the future, but I'm sure they'll be fine.
Okay.
I'm just imagining they just got hit by a super powered chain lightning from an elemental adept. It's just like
Yeah, they're going to be out for hours. So, and it's about this hour in, when you can make a perception check, Karis, though. probably not going to be that hard of a check.
Me personally? Okay.
Yes, just curious, because the others I assume are trying to get that long rest in. Yeah, the DC
12.
was pretty damn low. You do see that there is something moving around in the sands around about here, and it moves in a circle before you kind of strain your eyes to kind of look behind, like around the pillar, and you see that there is a pair of eyes and the top half of someone's head, like a humanoid head, looking directly at the dome.
I've got to think how I want to play this, and like, because Karish really wants the rest, and like, Taklo, how do you feel about being what's the word? A diplomat. And Taklo, probably after being fed the
Oh
strawberry,
yeah,
will just
yeah, sure.
right. So I'm gonna have Taklo go out of the dome because you can go in and out once you had it
Yeah.
been in, and Karis is gonna speak through Taklo, or basically instruct Taklo, because I think is it the improved 5 familiar that allows them to speak with your voice, isn't it? That's voice of the chain
Yeah, it is
monster.
back on the chain.
Yeah. So this will just be Taklo telepathically communicating Karis's thoughts to this head.
Sure.
Now that Taklo's a bit close, does the head look at all familiar?
Yes, it is. And seeing that Taklo comes out, the head begins to rise up out of the sands itself, forming into that same beautiful woman you saw before. It is quite literally Sandy coming out of the sands. And she appears at full height and stands there, still with the Duke in one hand. And she gazes at the little familiar.
Hello.
Hello. You've done well so far, disposing of a number of my servants and guards.
I don't like your
Though,
plants.
oh, you found one of my cacti, did you?
Yes, they made me cacti.
Says,
They're a
well,
bard. I thought they might appreciate the pun.
they do seem to smirk slightly. Even behind their veil, you can see them enjoying that pun. I say, well, I am impressed, but I'm afraid I am also a little bit disappointed. Don't see that there's any way you can possibly manage trying to protect yourselves. She seems to like wander around the dome, just inspecting it and doing a full circle, and everyone else who isn't asleep would probably see her, but they're just resting at the moment.
Hmm.
Especially since you're in the domain of a powerful spellcaster, and setting it up so brazenly in the middle of this room. I expected a little bit more.
Is there a better place to set it up?
Oh, I can't tell you that.
Oh, come on. I thought you impressed with us. Bit of give and take. You know, we impressed you. You give us a few hints, you know. We are trying to help you after all at the end of this.
There are no little secrets in my lair that I do not know of.
That's fair.
Nothing that I can't reach. And she literally walks out of this wall and then quite literally reappears outside of the other wall as well and says,
Yeah.
see?
And
Nothing you can do to bar entry.
then Taklo just disappears, appears behind them because Garrett just does it, and it's just like, I can do that too.
She twirls around and you see all her silks kind of splay out and then collapse again round her and she says, are you You're just one of the party's familiars, I assume.
Yes. And also their strawberry connoisseur. And whiskey taster.
Quite a lot of responsibilities.
Yes. I've earned them.
I'm surprised you're not affected by the music. You must be of some sort of Fey ancestry. She seems to like delicately lean in and get a closer look at the pseudo dragon.
Yeah. I prefer a bit more percussion. Something I can dance to.
Ah, I will endeavor to add those to the ensemble. But I don't want to waste any more of their time. Shall I wake them up now?
I mean, you could, but it's kind of mean waking them up from their sleep.
There are more comfortable beds upstairs.
True,
I mean,
but
sorry, downstairs rather.
true, but they're kind of used to sleeping on the floor by now. I don't get it. I always sleep on top of one of them. It's comfier.
Hmm.
Or are you saying you're lonely and you want someone to come and talk to you while you rest up there?
It does feel like I'm talking to myself a lot of the time up there. Oh, down there rather.
Well,
It's just that, well,
I mean,
everyone else is so predictable.
I can always come with you and we can chat, you know. Maybe I can give you some, I can tell you about, what was the name of the beer brewer's dwarf? It was Steinhammer? Is that it? I can tell you about Steinhammer. We had some of his stuff. That was really good. He brewed some specially for us.
I would love to hear these stories.
Bet you can make some really good songs.
She seems to just stare at the dome for a minute or so. She seems to just hang her head, just slightly looking down. Roll me a persuasion check for Taklo.
They're not great at this, but persuasion. Go.
Come, little dragon. Follow me.
I honestly expected to fail. That
Amazing. Ooh, Taklo.
Taklo made a friend.
You see the Mistress of the Sand simply lets Taklo fly behind her, and she seems to show no sense of paranoia or like she's not on edge or worried. She just seems to be comfortable in the little dragon's presence for now. And Taklo follows her all the way. And feel free to, in fact, I'll drag everyone onto this layer this time. Makes more sense. So you can see. I think. Can everyone else see through Taklo? I don't know. Probably
It's
not.
currently I can't even see through Tactile. I can only see what I saw previously on this layer.
Oh, we do need to change his light, don't we? Vision. There we go. There we go.
Yep.
Okay, cool. So she does lead you through, and she doesn't open the doors physically. She actually passes through them, and then she turns around, and you see that the door is already magically opening as she's already stepped through it and like continuing on to the next door. And she again walks straight through it, and then afterwards the door seemingly magically unlocks, allowing Taklo passage.
I think they've now gone out of range of like the connection between Karis and Taklo because there's like 100p. So this is all
true.
on Taklo now.
Yes, it's all just down to Taklo. And once again, the last door she seemingly steps through, and the door opens once again. You enter into this beautiful, peaceful looking chamber. There are crystal clear waters in a pool surrounded by natural looking plants. And there are pillars with ivy wrapped around them. And there's beautiful dimming and bobbing lights that kind of bob up and down on top of braziers. Again, more of these dancing lights that are just set around this place. And at the head of the pool, there is a two-headed snake that have their mouths open and water is pouring out from their fangs, filling the entire area. It is very brightly lit down here, even despite being deeper in. This place looks much cleaner. It's tiled. It's not like dingy like the previous dungeon. Yeah, it might be even Ikoski. Who knows? There's a number of towels and what look to be what are they called?
Bath bombs?
Yeah, bath bombs. No. Bombs. No. No, I was going to say they're like incense and
No.
perfumes.
Potpourri,
Just to make this
perhaps.
area smell much better than the rest of the place.
Honestly, I mean, she's a bard. She's got magic. Why couldn't she have invented bath bombs? Could be a
I
thing.
mean, yeah, you're right. Maybe she has. Who knows? There is one last door in this room that seems to be decorated with.
I like this
It's
room.
decorated with like. Sorry.
Tactle's just like, I like this room.
Well, I only let friends and people I trust in here. And you seem nice,
I try.
friendly enough.
Yep.
And she begins effectively undressing and submerges herself in the pool.
Tacklo considers this, and then I'm just imagining him sort of flying up, curling round, and doing like a bomb into the pool. He's tiny enough that he could do a dive. Cannonball!
So you splosh into the pool, and she sort of swims away from you and then rests up against the two-headed snake, sort of like leaning on it as the water sort of trickles down her shoulder and into the pool and ripples away. And although actually, funnily enough, the water actually passes straight through her, I should say, and you don't see she's not even causing a ripple in the water. Actually,
Yeah, she's like a projection. It seems like.
yeah,
perhaps.
she feels like a projection again. Weirdly enough. Nonetheless, she still is able to talk and communicate back and forth perfectly with ease. It's not something that seems to be like programmed like a magic mouth. She is very much there and able to talk in person. And she lets out a long sigh and says, "I'm afraid I am troubled, sort of
Well,
stuck between a rock and a hard place, you could say."
well, they say talking about your problems halves them, you know.
I'm in a catch-22.
Well, do you want to talk about it?
What do you call your summoner? Paris, was it?
Yeah, Carius. That's just what I call him.
How is your relationship with him?
It's pretty good, you know. We've been on a few journeys. I've been killed more times than I'd like, but one of those was Llewellyn's fault. But... And in a way, some of them were kind of your fault because they were people that you were controlling, so... But I don't really hold grudges. I don't see the point.
Not directly, but they do serve me and my ends.
Yeah, I try not to hold grudges. It ruins the taste of the strawberries. You have to be in the right mood. You have to be in the right mood to get the strawberry just right. Right frame of mind.
See. And have you ever questioned your summoner, Carius? I hate to say master, but I suppose you do have to do what he says. Yeah.
Well, he asked my opinion on it beforehand. But he asked if I wanted to come talk to you before I came to talk to you. He didn't just make me.
What if he asked you to do something that you didn't agree with?
Well, then I'd tell him no, and he would accept my opinion. It's happened before. Wanted me to go flying with him in a storm, and he likes that. I'm not a fan.
But you are magically bound by him.
Yes, I mean,
If he wished, he could force
he could.
his will upon you.
He could, but he doesn't. Or he hasn't yet. Always possibilities, but generally, me and him think quite alike. We just like freedom and helping people. Though he has a bit of a hero complex.
I wonder then. I wonder if he really can help me. Or the rest of your party can. There is someone who has a strong grip on effectively my presence here.
Oh, that's not good.
You are Fae, aren't you? Of some sort?
Yes.
Is Taklo your real name?
It's the name I choose to give.
I thought so. You wouldn't dare ever give away your real name.
No, apart from in certain situations, there's certain like guardians who will only accept you if you give your true name to them.
Precisely. This friend of mine is one such being who knows my true name.
Oh, that's not good. What'd you let him know that for? It's very silly.
In exchange for power.
It's one of those sort of situations. I get that. There are some archfey that do that. They like your true name, and then mostly the hags, those sort of types.
Technically, can roll me an insight as well at this point.
Insight is wisdom. Go.
Yeah. Okay.
Still doing pretty well.
Now, normally, like you're right, Fae and creatures of that nature use true names as a means of summoning and controlling in certain senses, but not normal human beings and such. That's not a thing. Just because you know a human's true name doesn't necessarily have full power over them. Normally, you'd have to trade over something else entirely, something more. So with that 16, you're not sure, but she could be of Fae-ish origin,
I mean,
or she might have given more than just her name. You're not sure.
well, from what you were saying, you are or were a muse, right?
That's right.
So you're not quite human, I guess. Mortal. It's a bit odd bits about you, I guess.
There are the same odd bits that people would see me as a monster. It's the same reason I cannot return to society.
Well, I mean, as they were saying, I mean, Andy has the same problem to some extent with the Sultan, and I mean, Irina's had her problems in the past. Kashan's had problems. Lavellin's had problems. We've all got problems in some places where we can't return. I mean, there was this group of elves called the Palthorians, and just because you can cast magic, they'd kill you. It's horrible. I mean, imagine what they'd do to a magical creature like me.
And myself as well.
We're not a big fan of people like that. I mean, this was before I joined the group, but there was this, from what Lavellin said, there was this big giant eyeball creature that was trying to like stop everyone having magic in this area, and they, not giving them the choice. And they stopped that. That one controlled the weather or something. It was weird. I mean, Garrus can sometimes, but
Your allies, they want to put a stop to this. And I would warn them to leave. I would urge them to. Not as a threat, but as a way of potentially saving them for their own good.
I will keep that in mind. You don't have. I don't know if Andy would want me saying this.
I know you want to help.
Taklo's sort of considering this and goes, I mean, we would go, but we think that maybe what was happening in the Dry Oasis might have affected something that directly affects one of us.
Directly affects
Yes.
one of you.
Yes.
You're speaking of the one with the starlit robe?
Yes. She wanted to speak to someone, but when we tried a spell to speak to them, we couldn't. And they were last alive in the Dry Oasis, so we think it might be somehow linked.
Well, I've trusted you with these things. Can you trust me and tell me their name?
Taklo considers this, and it's like, just the name, and I haven't said. He considers this for a moment. Give me a few moments to think. He's going to just swim a few lengths and go. And I'm going to flip a coin. So D2, 1 he won't say, 2 he will say. Okay. The dice decided it. I actually imagine him doing a flip and just allowing himself to land, and if he lands belly down, he chooses one. Okay, but you didn't hear this from me. The name was... And he pauses for a moment, trying to remember the name, and goes, Rahim?
Rahim. She always says it as the moment your familiar says it, almost like in tandem. And she nods a knowing nod. I thought as much. He did speak fondly of a daughter. That's her, isn't it? She smiles and says, "It is okay." She gets up from the pool, and again, there's no ripples that emanate from it. And she redresses herself and says, "I have a proposal then. I will give you the information you desire. I know Rahim. He was here. I'm the one who taught him. And I taught him one very specific tune.
Okay.
Promise to leave this place. And I will tell you exactly what happened with Rahim."
Taklo goes, can I go ask them, because I don't want to make the decision for the entire group on this, so this seems quite an important one. And can they get their rest first, because they've kind of done a lot. And if they do leave, it's going to be really dangerous for them if they leave in this sort of state.
It is dangerous whether they stay. It is dangerous for them to stay as well. The creature that knows my true name will not tolerate allowing you to rest here and be at your full strength.
Okay.
I would urge you to leave as quickly as you could there are more dangers up ahead, especially. She stops herself and says, "Just propose this to them."
Yeah. One last question just before I go. If they chose not to leave and they did somehow manage to save you, would you tell them the information then?
I doubt I would still be alive.
I doubt they'd let you die. They're good at that. Especially if you've got pretty rocks about. They seem really good if you've got pretty rocks.
Let me get this straight. You're going to, because this sounds very much like what you're going to do, is go back, tell them that I know something important, and now they will be even more
Well, I was gonna
urging to stay.
I was gonna go back and I was gonna basically say, okay, they've offered us a bargain. If we leave, they'll give us this information. But and apparently, whatever's in charge of her won't let us sleep. And then
That's right.
I will tell them that.
Yes.
Right. I will. I guess I'll be. I mean, you can just sort of teleport everywhere, so I guess you can come and get the answer in like 20 minutes or so.
I can if I wish, but
Or I can come back, whichever you prefer.
come back to me.
Okay.
Let them discuss in private.
Right.
I will be awaiting you.
Alright, Tekla will head back.
Okay. All right. Go back, and you can
Yeah.
wake the others without actually
Yeah.
disturbing their long rest.
Yeah.
It's only if you're in battle or moving or casting
Yeah.
spells for over an hour
Yeah,
that it interrupts.
Tekla, rather than waking the entire group, will nudge Andy.
Okay. Then
I'm sorry. I went and spoke to the Sandy lady.
You did?
Yes, she turned up and was trying to work her way in, so I managed to go talk to them, and they seem quite nice.
You seem a lot more capable than some of the people here, she says quietly.
Well, you know, I'm special. It's all the
You are
strawberries.
very special, and she kind of like gives a
Yeah.
little kind of scratch on her
So,
head.
now I went and spoke to her, and apparently the thing that we saw in the mirror knows her true name. Which for
Okay.
humans normally or mortals isn't normally a big deal, but I'm guessing it's this whole muse thing and it's allowing them some kind of control in exchange for power.
Makes sense.
But apparently they trained your dad.
But
Yeah. Apparently they taught him one specific song. And I know it was meant to be like a big secret, but I was trying to get as much information I could without revealing, and she seemed to know before I told her.
no, you did good. You did good. Well, that's a surprise for sure.
And she's sort of given us an option of a deal,
Okay.
which is if we leave, she'll give us the information about Raheem. And apparently, if we stay, the big bad thing won't let us sleep for the full time. I don't know how it's going to get here. I thought the barrier stopped that, but you know. He just shrugs. And I thought I'd wake you up because it's kind of information important to you more than the group, so up to you.
No, I understand. Yeah. Mm, That's a tough call to make, though. I mean, how is she going to give us this information if we leave? I mean, is she going to be able to track us down or something?
I'm not sure. She just said if we agree to leave, she'd give us the information. So I don't know if she'll like give it to us at the door or something, but
Okay.
considering the sort of thing she is, if we agree to this deal, I think it might be if we agree we have to go through, that we can't like double back on it later.
Mm.
Maybe.
The trouble is we can't leave this place how it is.
Mm.
But she has information on my dad.
Yes.
Ah.
I did try to see if like we managed to save her, if she'd tell us the information, but she seems to think that if we rescue her from this thing, she'll die. And she didn't seem to have any pretty rocks to bring her back.
I can't make this decision on my own.
Alright. I'll go, actually, I know you said you can't make it on your own, but I also know that you think some of these guys are morons, and I agree some of the time. So is there anyone in particular you want me to wake up?
Any moron? I like tackling more and more.
I mean, he's not a big fan of Llewellyn. Llewellyn sent him into like an arrow storm to send a message to the party.
He's probably thinking, she's like, okay,
I mean, Irina seems smart.
Oh, bye, Jamie.
And
she does seem smart. I'm just trying to think who needs sleep the most. I know Llewellyn was very, very...
I get spell slots back on a short rest.
Okay.
yeah.
So
Irina!
And Kashan doesn't really need spell slots, so, and you get on well with him, so...
I mean, I hardly used any of mine, so...
Yeah, those two need to, you know... right. So Taklo will go and nudge Irina. Just like, nyeh. And he needs to speak to you, it's really important. But shh!
she sits up and is just like, hair.
And...
I mean, sorry for the rude awakening, but Taklo's been incredibly helpful while we've been sleeping. He's a very good little dragon.
I mean, he's always helpful.
Yeah.
That's like a little snack for him.
Yep. He nibbles on it. So basically explains what's been sort of found out.
It's not a decision I think I can make by myself, because this is going to involve everyone.
Okay, I have 2 books in my possession currently. One is on the Muses, and one is the Sultan's thing, right? Hang on, let me double check. I don't remember.
Yeah, you have the first.
The Anthem of Fire, and what was the other one?
You do have the Anthem of Fire. The other one was never fully published.
Oh, no, that's the one I've asked them to try and find. Okay, I'm going to flick through the Anthem of Fire and just see if there's anything that might sound like it is this woman.
Okay.
She was one of, like, the muses. Is there one described that used this instrument, that trained the others?
Right. So, as you've read through a portion of it already, I would assume. The Anthem of Fire is a tale about the glories and conquest that took place in the Dry Oasis. It's not necessarily about the muses or individuals who lived there. It's actually about how they campaigned, took over all these other kingdoms, and it's shared in a very kind of glorious and
I thought I picked up the book that was like from the muses, like museum thing, that was about them.
Yeah, I thought you
Okay.
did too.
Yeah,
It's not
that's
listed on my
not the
list.
Anthem of Fire though. That one, that's a different
No,
book.
that's what I mean. I thought I had 2 books, but that's the
Yeah.
only one that I've got listed
Okay.
apart from the dragon book.
Though I will say this then: the Anthem of Fire though is written in such a magnificent way. The writing is like next to nothing you've ever read before. In fact, there are passages which are like rhyming couplets, and there are ballads wrote about the armies and soldiers in there that are done in poems. And just from reading it, you can tell someone was either an incredible warrior poet or they commissioned someone the best bards in the cities to write this, but
Like, is there a name on the cover?
there is, and it is authored by the actual Sultan himself, like the Grand Sultan of Gaidia.
I don't believe that for a minute.
Well,
like, considering
no.
she said he's been draining their talent.
Well, that might be how he's done it. Maybe he trained their talents to write this book.
Yeah. What a
The
jerk.
second anthem was the one after the war, effectively how once the dust had settled, but they apparently was never fully published. Only portions of it, because the anthem was quite literally an anthem. It's like volumes of poems, but they kind of got halfway through the second anthem, and then you could tell there was
Lost
something
their talent.
was lost, and it definitely took a much more somber approach. It felt like the passages were filled with more tones of regret rather than the glory that was sung in the first anthem for sure. It's now kind of left thinking, oh great, all these other kingdoms are dead and we're the only ones left alive, effectively. And also just the tragedy of war, the amount of lives lost, people left homeless, and now it just had a somber tone, but you didn't get the full anthems on the second one. It was cut short, and it was said that the Sultan was still writing it, and he was going to publish all of them again. So it's almost like he recalled all the other ones, and then was going to put them all again in a bigger anthem. Anyway, you wanted to learn about the actual muses themselves. Yeah, as you've learned before, there are 9 of them that all kind of represent different arts and professions, such as, for example, okay, let me just go down the names.
The one
See,
that has the similar name to Andy and her dad.
Yes, that one. There was no. There wasn't a muse that had the same name, but there was a. I know what you're thinking of. Let's scroll down my notes. You're talking about the Nora Al-Amar, who was a
Yes.
bard of legend. She wasn't necessarily a muse, though you could rumor that she potentially was, but she was just an incredible bard of legend who was so good at their profession that they were allowed audience with the Sultan. And she's one of 5 in the past 200 years who have actually met the Sultan and seen him. The others being the older vizier, Malone, the current vizier, and a bounty hunter known as Izzat. But she wasn't recorded as a muse of legend or anything, just a notorious bard who was that by the way, that was over 200 years ago, because she met the Sultan, then the old vizier, then Izzat the bounty hunter, then Malone, then the current vizier. So in that order.
Yeah, I'm gonna like put a pin in the bounty hunter thing because the guy who
Exactly.
we found earlier looked like a bounty hunter. But getting past that, I'm gonna go
Yeah.
back and relook at the sort of like the muses themselves.
Okay. Well, there's one that represents epic poetry, one that represents history. There's one that represents flutes and music
That one.
as one, and stuff. Okay. Yes. And her name is. I'm gonna pronounce this correctly. It is Euterpe.
In
Spelt
Euterpe.
like this. Euterpe. And about her, I guess. Then so she's supposed to be like a lesser deity in the sense that she has powers that can be called upon, and she's also she's supposed, so as a lesser deity she's kind of got powers that can actually influence the mortal realm. Effectively, she's not like a higher god in the heavens that just don't have any influence. She is one that was supposedly like lived a life in the material plane, walked the earth as a sort of lesser demigod, like being, almost like a normal mortal, but with divine power. So yeah, like Hercules, I guess. Yeah, effectively, one born like of divine power. And these muses were so notorious of themselves that they were almost worshipped as gods themselves. And when they did finally pass away, she still had many sons and daughters in her life, and it's believed that potentially some of that divine power was indeed passed on. And there's rumors that she was in fact some sort of race of Asimar, which are like angelic humanoids, effectively. Um, but yeah, as most of the muses will go, like the same stories sort of apply. Their blood would have been passed down through generations and more widely spread out, so that it's harder to detect whether someone has that unique talent or innate divine essence within them. But at one point, she is believed to have been called down from Mount Celestia, and she is still an embodied being, effectively. But these are rumors, more like myth. Some say that she's passed on to the divine realms and lives out her life there, but others believe maybe she didn't die. Maybe she was in fact just reborn. That one of her descendants would have been a manifestation of her divine energy, and that the muses themselves aren't necessarily a being, but rather a force. And that's described in later chapters as well, whether music is a force in of itself, not like the weave, not like a school of magic, but just a presence that always exists throughout history. Music is something that has always tied people together, brought communities together, and it you'll be hard pressed to find a community without music. It is simply everlasting, ever present. It's a source of power that just runs throughout any community or history in existence. Music is always there. Anyway, was you looking for something else specific in there?
Mm.
So rather than it talking about a being that's reincarnated, it's talking about like a force of nature itself that is
Well,
seeks
yeah,
out
I
and
figured
grants.
it's just the
Yeah.
sort of the skill itself, the talent itself that kind of gets reincarnated into different people rather than the actual person.
The hardest thing is there's no proof of it. There's no way to actually discern that either. But
Okay, me with obviously being a warlock and having like a pact with a patron, I'm wondering if there's anything in this book that pertains to having one of the muses as a patron.
yeah, there are absolutely worshippers of the muses themselves, and I wouldn't say there's mention of pact with them. I definitely worship. So you can pick out potentially clerics, orders
Mm.
of clerics that would definitely worship them. But you're
But like, obviously, what Taklo has said is like, obviously, this thing knows her name, therefore has bound her. That's kind of
yeah,
similar in the way that Irina and Candlewick have kind of formed their bond.
that sounds absolutely familiar. but the mentions of it in the book, you only see like religious orders and clerics. There's no mention of a being they've formed a pact with.
Well, it's obvious that this is kind of like it was done in like desperation, clearly, if she wanted
Right.
power.
But the way she spoke of it to Taklo is definitely reminiscent of a warlock pact. Yes. Which can hint towards other things. Doesn't seem like a divine being would form a pact. So it's definitely not. That's not the muses.
Yeah, and
No, I know that.
Oh.
That's pretty obvious. I mean, spoopy.
but yeah,
But
You wanna you wanna think of other pacts that have been made? You can roll an Arcana check, Irina, or a history.
mm,
I'm just basically gonna list off the warlock subclasses.
24.
Yeah. Okay. So you know there are plenty of other beings that can create pacts and offer power. Of those, you have fiends, fae,
celestials.
ancient old ones, genies. Genies can offer undead creatures with immense amount of power.
I don't think it's an undead.
And then it can also be from like weapons, right? Like
I have a
And
theory,
weapons, yeah.
but it's a bit of a crackpot theory. In my brain, it makes sense, but it would only make sense to Irina. Kind of.
Oh.
So, when I spied on the Sultan, which none of the
Yeah.
others know about,
Yeah,
there was a strange bottle.
there was, yeah.
So I'm wondering if the way that the Sultan drains talent is by using a genie, and if the genie was there when this woman was about to be drained, she made an even bigger pact with this thing, and that's why the Sultan's not been able to get his talent back.
I mean,
So she's in a sense kind of. It'd be kind of like if Lavella went up to Candlewick and was like, "Hey, I can offer you a better deal in exchange for like taking this person out."
Yeah, that would be pretty crazy. If that was the case, you would assume that they have the bottle, because the bottle is what summons that genie forth. It's that.
Yeah, but this thing is obviously in hiding and is getting this woman to do her dirty work and take down the dry oasis from the inside
True.
to get at the Sultan.
I mean,
As I said,
And
it's a
is that
crackpot
true?
theory, but
yeah,
like,
I'm just sort of trying to consider everything that we know about what's happened so far, and because I don't know whether like our trip to the shadow place or anything was linked to this, or if that was just a.
Oh.
Because if that creature was from there, then I don't know if.
Let's not. I don't want you guys to dwell on it too much, because the answers are literally through the door.
Yeah.
But you could be talking about this for days, and you'll be like, "Oh, you could literally just kick down the door and figure it out." But
okay.
what we want to get back to is, do you want to take her up on this offer or not? So I don't know if any of that information helped you, Irina, in answering that question, but there you have it.
So theoretically, the option is yes, we can leave. But the only other person who would know anything about your dad is the Sultan, and if we walk in there without the information from this woman, we have no edge. We know nothing still.
Plus, no doubt if I go to the Sultan, I'll never come out again.
Well, exactly, and it's a case of obviously we still don't know what's happened to your dad.
And you won't get to swim in her bath either. It's very nice.
Bath.
Okay, that's a plus.
Ask her. No, I don't know if we should meet with this woman.
I mean, I
My-
can.
my- concern is that we leave and all this bad stuff keeps going on. Could have we prevented it?
Mm.
Yeah, Carius
But
ain't gonna want
also-
to leave because you know what he's like.
The guys need to rest, though. And if we don't leave, they don't get it. They're exhausted, they're battered, they're bruised. Not that they'd admit it, but
I mean, if Carius can get at least a little bit to heal himself up a bit, then he can still fight without his magic.
Yeah, you still got 2 hit dice, haven't
Yeah.
you? Mm-hmm.
And Llewellyn would have cantrips, and Kashan is Kashan. The monks get key back on short rest, I forget.
Yep.
Yeah. Just barbarians that don't, and sorcerers that don't get their special one back, I think.
Right.
would I have technically had my short rest, or
If you want to stop and take this as a short rest instead, then yeah, you could be doing that.
sure? I think I'm going to do that just to, because obviously I get spell slots back from that.
Yeah.
I don't get obviously.
It interrupts your long rest, but you're just going to take an
Yeah,
hour.
but considering the situation, one of us needs to be
Yep.
awake.
All right.
I mean, there's always potentially a. What are the odds that there is going to be another way we can help these people?
I mean,
That's the big thing. Would leaving just result in basically me being really selfish just to get information on my father? And then we just put the lives of all these people at risk.
At the end of the day, if we leave, it's just going to keep going.
Mm-hmm.
we could save them, but then they might just put them back under, and then we'd have done it all for
Exactly.
nothing.
We have risked our lives for less.
Mm.
I think, as much as I want you to find information about your dad, this is more important. It's a lot of people.
The needs of many outweigh the needs of the few.
What a stupid saying.
Wow.
And Tatklow's just
What's
like,
the tan saying?
and Tatklow's just like, as long as I get strawberries at the end, I don't mind which way we go.
Don't worry, Takla. We'll make sure you get lots and lots of strawberries.
So, do you want me to go back and say no deal because you wanted me to go back?
I would maybe phrase it like, we're sorry, but we can't turn back.
I am going to take out one of the owlbear feathers and give it to Taklo.
You sure?
I have many. It's fine. And I'm going to thread one of my beads onto it, a little sandstone bead onto it. And I'm going to give it to Takla and just send our apologies. But we cannot leave.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Irina, on your character sheet, I see something is remains to be seen. I'd like you to change that to chaotic good.
Oh, okay.
Yep. And Taklo will take this little thing and
Oh,
probably
I have an alignment.
probably
do.
hold like the I don't know what the proper term is, the stem of the feather, and because it's basically like a leaf, and then just sort of fly back.
Okay, cool. All right, let's do that. Get this on the road. So, you fly back into the chamber. She actually sees you before you get there. She's at the end of the long corridor, and I'll just where's Tackler? There he is.
Yeah.
So yeah, she's just standing there. You follow the scarab patterns across the floor, and she leads you back into the other room.
Yeah.
And says, "What have your friends decided?"
Right. First of all, this is a present, and he hands her the owl feather with the speed.
Why, thank you.
It's from Irina,
She says,
and it's very
not-
special. She really likes owlbears.
She goes to grab it, and her fingers pass through it, and she says, please, if you could slip it under this door.
Rightio just does so, slips it under the door, and it's just like, yeah. He's being really careful with it so it doesn't get like bent or anything. It's just like,
Yeah, there's enough of a gap you can actually slide it under.
He takes a little peek under the door as he's doing it, see what he can see.
Okay, you see there is a large four-poster bed with like these silk curtains all adorning it. There is a tiled flooring, a writing desk, and from this angle you can see there's a large brazier with a coiled snake statue surrounding it. You can see there are other bits to the left and right. But you can't see what they are from this angle.
You seem to really like snakes. He just says, like, thinking on everything.
She smiles and says, yes, this is an aesthetic that, well, seems fitting.
Or was this here before and you just settled here because you like snakes?
I'll never tell.
Secrets. I do like secrets.
He says, so what have your friends decided?
So I've spoken to them, but I've spoken to two of them, but they're the sensible ones in the group for the most part. So seemed the best decision. So they send their apologies, but they feel they've come too far to turn back now, and they're determined to essentially save you and save the Dry Oasis, because they're worried if they leave now, then all their hard work's going to be undone. And also, from a personal view, it seems a really lame story for the heroes to be like, aha, yeah, there's a cool bit of information. No bard's going to write an epic about that. It's just like, you ruined the ending. Don't want to ruin the ending.
Well then, let us make this a story to remember.
Yes. He just sort of considers this, and it's just like, I realise this is probably going to end up with fighting and stuff, so if you wouldn't mind, I'm not going to get involved in the fighting, I'm just going to watch, and so if I could live, that'd be great.
I don't plan on killing anyone.
Oh, is this going to be the whole magical hypnotism-y?
If I can avoid a fight, that is the better for everyone.
Don't know why they're calling
Now,
me.
run back to your friends,
Right.
Little Dragon, and I will see you soon.
I'm going to have them swim through the pool on the way out, just because it's nice.
You see, she passes through this wall, the door that you just slipped the feather under, and disappears. And
He will fly
this
back.
door closes behind you, and you hear it lock. These two doors slam behind you as well.
Ah, that's going to be the
doubles
guards.
remain open.
Oh. He considers this for a moment. It's like, I'm going to take a peek. And he's just going to stay away from the flowers.
Okay. Sure. Yeah, you stay away from the cacti, and you see that there are 3 more statues.
Any of them look familiar?
No, not immediately.
Wait a minute. Oh no, I think I might know what she is. Oh no.
There are pillars in the room, but this looks like an entry hall into a much bigger chamber, perhaps.
Is there any gaps under this door?
Continue to roll on, and you see another set of large double doors. But that's where it ends.
Any gaps under that door, or gaps in the door?
I'll say maybe there's a small enough gap. Yeah, you can just about see because the red carpet's kind of flush with the door. You can just see that the red carpet extends onwards, and you see there's a shadow of an archway above on the carpet, and the shadow looks like 2 snakes intertwined.
Lots and lots of snakes. Up, back we go.
Yeah.
Actually,
you can also tell the mosaic patterns continues to swerve and curve around that chamber.
Yeah. Does looking at it, does the snake pattern basically swirl around and culminate in that arch, like the arch is the heads of the snake?
Hard to tell from here, but
Exactly. We'll
the
head
shadow
back.
looks thinner. The shadow looks thinner than the pattern, though.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay, so you head back, and
And again, two intertwined snakes, which is the second of them.
all right,
So
back to you guys.
Taklo comes back and says, "Okay, I've told her," and tried to make the appeal that if we left, it'd be a really boring story. So that seemed to go down well with her, but I don't think it's going to affect anything. Also, she seems to really like snakes, and there's statues up there that are either really good statues or are people that became statues.
Well, I mean, we almost got petrified by a bunch of chickens once, so she could be a chicken.
True. She did seem to
But
appreciate
if
the
she
gift.
likes snakes, I think it's probably a different type of person.
She did seem to appreciate the gift.
Good.
Though she couldn't touch
Okay.
it, I had to slip it under her bedroom door. It's a bit
You
weird.
can touch it.
Yeah,
Did you see another mirror?
I didn't see a mirror, but she seems to be some sort of like projection. Like she just walked through walls but then after she'd walked through them, the doors open. So I don't know. That might be part of that spell that's on everything. He just shrugs. Also, she doesn't intend to kill us.
Yes.
No, she'll just get us to do her dirty work.
She'll enslave us.
Yeah. I don't know if that's better or worse. Matter of opinion.
That remains to be seen.
Yeah. So.
I think we just have to come up with a way of blocking it out, I guess.
Yeah. Well, weren't you learning to play a song to counter that?
Oh yeah, the song in reverse or something.
So we can try that and hope that works.
Yeah, so just you described to me, Andy, you've got the tune down now, the melody. What did you want to do with it? Did you want to reverse it or add? It's up to you how you decide to do this.
I mean, I think she initially the idea is to try and reverse it.
Okay. All right. Understood. Okay.
That would be a bit easier than trying to come up with a melody or harmony to put over the top of it.
All right, so you can easily begin to practice doing this in reverse. Just give me a quick performance check. And we'll see how well this is. Because music in reverse tends to not sound so good.
There are some songs
It's
which
usually
work well.
some, but I'll say for this one, Andy does make it sound good. Because you're not actually hearing it in reverse. It's just the song played in reverse. So the instrument still has like good sounding notes. It doesn't sound like distorted, is what I'm saying. It actually sounds like another musical piece. Sounds almost similar in places, but it has created a whole new song in of itself.
I mean, there's a guy who we see the reels on Instagram quite a lot of who does it.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Also,
She makes it look like it was an accident.
He just flips the sheet music over and he plays the piece properly.
Pretty cool. As you do this, then around the room, you just see sand sort of filter from the ceiling and like land in the pile in the corner. Just as you're playing it, either because something magical happened or because the sound literally reverberated and loosened tiny fragments of sand. But
Sand moves.
you're playing this with your violin, I assume?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Cool. Okay. All right. So, question to you guys is: do you now instead go to take a short rest, or are you gonna try to take the long rest?
I mean, I've got 2 hit dice. if one of them was willing to give me the Snuggle Beast, how much does that give the Snuggle Beast?
2d6.
And then with the Song of Rest, so I'm gonna get. Carius would probably be okay just trying based on the short rest, but Lavellum.
I mean, Irina's done the short rest situation, so she is awake at this point.
Yeah. The way I see it is I'm asleep for 8 hours. So if you want to wake me up from my long rest, that's
Yeah, it'd be the awake people's decision at this point whether they disturb the long rest or try to let them rest as long as they can.
Because Andy, are you short resting as well?
Well, yeah, she's not too bad.
So maybe let the others try and long rest.
Yeah, she just really needs just a couple of hit dice. She's hardly used any.
Okay.
I won't
All right, then.
I won't have any
Right, hang on, let me
on
do
this
the
battle. But I have a feeling
Alright.
this battle isn't necessarily going to be necessarily a
Um,
battle of offense.
About an hour later, you suddenly see the dome disperse, like it shatters and disperses immediately.
arrow.
And what else? Let's... Yeah, in addition to that, you hear the sound of the Daduke play as it is dispersed, as it is dispelled.
Well,
Oh, can we just get rid of it?
God damn it, Count to Dooku.
I got a really high roll. Go on.
but if those rolls are what I think they are,
Yep.
then potentially she's at least wasted some spell slots. Or someone's wasted
Potentially.
some spell slots. Though
Potentially, yeah.
I'm just thinking, looking at the time, do you want to end it there and start things up next week?
Let's get you on the other map so that you can
Yeah.
you don't have to look at this thing anymore. All right. It seems as though Paul of Ellen is stirred awake by the sound of this sharp Daduke in their ear. You realize you're not getting your long rest,
And I got the
no matter what you do. Doesn't matter. It's magical, my friend. It
You're my
muffles it slightly, but you do still hear it nonetheless.
you're my
And effectively, you're forced to press on. You do have the moment to gain a short rest, which you've done.
So would we all
short.
gain the benefits of the short rest, or even though we were trying for the long rest?
If you're trying for a long rest and you decided to stop and take a short rest, then you've gained short rest.
Oh, okay.
If you
we
try to
didn't.
take a
we
long
would,
rest
yeah, we would
and you were interrupted, then no.
Okay, that's fair.
So we short resting then.
Well, they didn't wake us up. We were trying for the long rest, so it's been disturbed, so we don't get the benefit.
I mean, are we sticking around for an hour before? We
No, by the sounds of it, we've got to press forward because they're making their assault. We don't have the time.
Oh.
You do hear that music getting louder, but I'm gonna say, do you guys head up the stairs?
Yeah, Carius will take a deep breath, sigh, and be like, right. Whoever the person in charge of this woman is, they're getting a slap. I don't like being woken up from my naps.
I could almost feel the weave coming back.
Disturbed,
So close.
disrupted.
But
Yeah.
Things to do, people to save.
Yeah, Taclo's just like, nobody's afraid of snakes, right? There seems to be lots of snaky things, so...
No, I used to be friend with a 4-headed snake.
Ah, cool. There's lots of 2-headed snake statues. Well, there's 2.
It was called Ikoski Koski.
Ah, cool.
Right. Well, as you come up into this strangely ominous space, you can hear the music getting louder and louder. Even with earplugs in, the music seems to sound within your mind. There's a set of double doors ahead of you, and a tiled mosaic of like a snake tail wrapping itself around and curving along a red carpet towards another set of double doors ahead of you. There's a lifelike statue in the center, and it seems to be pointing with an accusative finger. A scroll, also similarly in stone, clasped in one hand.
And Taclo says, right, I think they want us to go this way, but stick to the carpet because the plants attack.
Oh,
Especially this one. He's a prick.
wait. So this carpet, and you have to follow it all the way. Right?
Well, just one... Well, this is more of a mosaic. I meant the red carpet when you get into the room. Sort of stay in the centre.
Oh,
Okay.
Taclo notices there is an addition of a percussion as well. Like these thumping kind of drums.
Ah! Taclo sort of listens to it for a moment and goes, it's a bit slow, but, you know, a bit of rhythm to it. He just sort of sways to it.
As he sways to it, I'd like him to make a wisdom save. With advantage.
Yep.
Natural 20 again! That's the third natural 20 for Taclo this session.
Taglo's the boss.
You see, so before we end, you see Taclo running, swaying towards the double doors, kind of getting lost in the music and flapping to the beat of the rhythm. And as they approach the double doors, they suddenly stop themselves and like back up, and you see them like shaking their head, trying to clear their head of the music.
And they sort of consider it for a moment. They're like, you know what? The percussion helps, but needs lyrics. That's what I should tell her next.
Irina's gonna start singing really off key at the top of her lungs to try and drown out the music. It's like
Bagpipe.
drunk bar song, sea shanties, the Kashan song, everything she can think of.
Do you think you could sing the Kashan song to this tune? Like it's a bit offbeat.
We don't sing to the tune. If we sing to the tune, we end up falling into the tune. It's not happening.
Wow.
Okay. Well, I think there's where we will wrap it up tonight. And if you can come up with your own, dance to your own tune next session, and finally bring a conclusion to this little sandy dungeon. So thank you very much for watching, and we will be back next week. And tune in on Sunday for a big, epic conclusion. Maybe, well, we'll see. We've got to go back in time with the witch hunters, see if they continue their alternate timeline. And on Monday, tune in for What Lies Beneath.
No, it won't be this Monday. I'm not available this Monday. My dad's birthday.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Not
All right then.
for Irina.
We'll cancel that for now. All right. See you then.
Bye.